streaming. It's a Sigewinne. Oh, I forgot to put bubbles up. Oops, my bad. I actually disagree, by the way, about the sentiment that, like, she's 2024 Chi-Chi. I absolutely disagree. I think... Well, okay, to be clear, I could be wrong. Like, my entire impression of Sigewinne thus far has been basically based on DPSing her. But I do think they intended her to be used in that way, right? Like, that's why her bow is what it is. It's why Aqua Simulacra and this Marshall build that I used in... Like, so go check out the video. If you haven't already, go check out the video I released today. DPSing Sigewinne. It has a lot of my, like, condensed thoughts and feelings and showings of, like, how she can perform at, like, a high investment level where she's using... You're still using her as, like, a healer. But you're also using her to deal damage. Right, and, like... I'm showing this bow on screen not to say you should pull for it, but because this is indicative, I think, of what their intention was with Sigewinne on a design level, right? Which is that they intended her to be a healer and a little bit of a damage dealer. Like I was trying to conceptualize why, like, she felt so good to play, as good to play as she did. Like, why was I so wrong? Right? Like, how did I get this character so wrong that she feels super fun to me when I thought she was going to be extraordinarily boring, right? And some of that is, like, just the field time things, like, that I did in the DPSing her video with Dia that I didn't think about before. But in conjunction with that, like, with field time things, to try to illustrate this, I think on a numbers level, you know how everyone is calling her, like, you know, like, or it would describe her burst, like, I shouldn't say everyone, but the easiest comparison for Sigewinne's burst is that, like, Sigewinne's burst is like one newbie-led charge attack, right? And you can see that in my video. We're in this build, right? This build in my video was getting, like, newbie-led charge attack damage numbers, a little bit more than my newbie-led gets, actually, but it's also using, like, a better weapon than my newbie-led usually uses, because my newbie-led usually is on, like, this or whatever. So, oh, my fucking, oh, sorry, I swore without my YouTube chat is frozen. Good job, YouTube. So, right, I was trying to internalize, right? Okay. Why does she feel as good as she does, right? This character, right, has a burst that is one newbie-led charge attack. And newbie-led, normally it's like 3 charge attacks in a rotation. I mean, you know, 3 and change depending on, like, but the 3 charge attacks per normal rotation, right? You do skill and burst, he generates 9 balls, he does 3 charge attacks, right? Yeah, I streamed it earlier today because I actually want to play Elden Ring with my friends. What's my secret for my voice? Genetics, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. And I don't know. So, right, this dude does 3 charge attacks, and that's what everyone's like, oh my god, broken character. This is a healer, where we're saying she has 1/3 of newbie-led in her kit. Newbie-led. You know, everyone's like, oh my god, Omega broken power creep. 1/3 of newbie-led. And notably, right, she's 1/3 of newbie-led with 1/3 of the field time requirement. So, hence letting me do things like, say, Raiden with her, right? This is a character that can do 1/3 of newbie-led damage in 1/3 of newbie-led time. It takes higher investment to do it, and, like, she has issues in, like, having less accessible options. I'm not saying pull Sigewinne over newbie-led. But this is my internalization of how I realized, wait, this is why this character is actually pretty good. Right? 1/3 of newbie-led's damage with 1/3 of the field time. And you know one of those really big annoying things about newbie-led? In how he gets interrupted all the frickin' dang time? And that means, like, you don't want to play, you know, you either want to get C1 or you want to get whatever. I actually don't, I haven't actually checked. Does she have, let's find out. Hello, sir.
Can wait.
I swear it's for medical
okay, well, you know, it's short, right? But I'm pretty sure I would have gotten knocked back there, right? I can here we can check again. So, you know, this character, right, can do 1/3 of Nubilet's damage at like high investment levels, but like Nubilet takes a lot of investment too, right? It's not that different. It's just she's a little bit more miserable as far as DPSing goes. She has less weapon options compared to Nubilet. Nubilet is a much more accessible character to make good, right? But Sigewinne notably also has like generic, easy, very accessible build utility. That is not something. Yeah, see? She got whacked in the face there in a burst. Didn't get interrupted. Unironically, that's pretty valuable. You sure that amount of ER is enough? It's definitely enough in this team. I didn't burst with Raiden in this team. So, and the whole video I was using Sigewinne with Furina, with 124 ER, Sigewinne, Dia, Nahida, Furina, right? No one was on Fab in that team. I don't recall. Yeah, no, yeah, Nahida was on Prototype Amber, Dia was on DPS build, she was on Damage build, right? No Favs in the team, 124 ER was enough. So like, right, her having a Nubilet charge attack in her kit is pretty significant when it's a Nubilet charge attack that you can get interrupted out of, and it's a Nubilet charge attack, like, to be clear, it has like a little bit less like range as far as distance from the character goes, but it also has a little bit more width. So like it's not exactly 1-for-1. That's I'm not trying to say it's exactly the same, but it has some upsides too in that it can't be interrupted. And yeah, it's not a Nubilet C1 in Sigewinne. Like my point is, she can have Nubilet's damage output potentially for a short window. And so her value is a question of what else are you doing in the team, right? That's not just her. Because the way that we conceptualize most characters being good for DPS, or good for supports, are not things that are traditionally aligned with what Sigewinne, how you would think about Sigewinne, right? But like this character at a baseline at high investment levels, like I have her, can do Nubilet level damage, but 1/3 of Nubilet damage because she's doing 1/3 of the field time, right? And she is the team-wide healer for the team. That is a very significant factor. She's a team-wide healer for the team, and she does a little bit of skill buffing on top of that. That's why she feels so good to me. And she has an accessible, easy build path of just like doing, like, you know, a healing build rather than like a build where like you have versatility in just using this character as, you know, use your other characters, press E on Sigewinne, swap off heal, right? That's a strength to her kit, the fact that she can be a very low field time unit, but also can have places where it feels like it makes sense to DPS her in. I think this is what they intended her to be like, right? Like her kit has smatterings of that all over the place. Her burst is relevant for damage. Her passive has a little bit of Hydra damage in it too, right? She's meant to be a hybrid healer DPS unit, and that shows. Like I don't think this character is a Chi-Chi tier character by any means. Like where in Chi-Chi's kit does she have a Nubilet charge attack? Like, you tell me. And also this character actually generates energy. But even honestly, even like on a supportive baseline, so we're gonna test a bunch of like supportive things without just doing like we're gonna do like a lower investment, just a healer style build, right? Healer buffer style build, and figure out like maybe I'll change my tune towards the end of the stream when we test more normal things, and we're gonna test C1 later as well, and. Like the main thing I even got wrong on like the healing level though, because like what I was confused about, right, was like how it seemed like they were configuring Sigewinne like she was undertuned, right, in comparison to like Cloud Retainer. Cloud Retainer is the other 5-star healer they released since Furina's release, and Cloud Retainer is stupid bonkers with Furina, but notably not for Furina's damage. Cloud Retainer is bonkers when doing like Furina Cloud Retainer and then doing another unit, right? Cloud Retainer is buffing another unit. more in the traditional spend a bunch of field time on a unit sense, right? Again, in that traditional sense that we conceptualize thinking about characters in. Sigewinne does have like a lot of strength, or like that, like does have a lot of strength, both in balance and a little bit of her potential damage output and her burst being 1/3 of a new Elette. And on top of that, like I undervalued the value of doing double Hydra with Furina. Like when I was thinking about Sigewinne and Furina together, my brain was used to how I almost always was playing Furina solo Hydro, right? This is like the first like combo with Furina, like two core combo with Furina that is double Hydra that makes sense, right? Like I don't want to do double Hydra Furina as a generic team core with any other character, right? So, and it's not only that Sigewinne's buff is good for Furina, it's also that Sigewinne increases Furina's damage significantly by lowering her build requirements. Like, and there's a lot of players that just like don't run enough ER on Furina, for like a lot of teams that Furina's used in, and like it results in a situation where like you'd have to be constantly switching your artifacts or weapon around or whatever. This is a way where you could have much more versatility to use Furina, on a lower energy, higher damage dealing build, right? Like the conceptualization of doing, if you want to use Furina with Nuvilat, right? That would be like a common double Hydro case for Nuvilat, or for Furina, but boring, no. And yay, that good. Furina has lower ER needs there. But then as soon as you take her like out of that context and start doing, you know, anything of the numerous things you can do with Furina, you know, Setho's team, Furina's ER needs here is like 200 and some odd %, and you probably just want to slap Fab on her and like, right? But instead, you could do, well, Sethos. I mean, you could do, heck, you could probably do some electrocharge Sethos. It would probably work pretty well for this Abyss, actually, right? Just frick it, right? Just replace Baiju with what's her bucket here, Sigewinne, right? It would probably work. Probably not the most valuable thing you could do, but you know, Kiwawa, we'll test. We're gonna do Kirawa things with her signature weapon, Kirawa's signature weapon, not hers. Later, probably, if I have time. I do want to play Elden Ring later with my friends, so I'm gonna like hopefully not stream for more than 3 hours. That's part of why I was streaming early. So anyways, like it comes down to team combos, right? Like Cloud Retainer is a character who buffs in more of the traditional sense, where you're like just buffing the one on fielder. The way that Sigewinne offers damage contribution to the team is in combination with Furina, and like that's her biggest downside, is she does feel pretty tied to Furina for utility to me, which is not that surprising considering Furina released this year and is an all-around gimmick of like wanting healers and yada yada, like. But I don't know. I think she's actually a much more compelling character than I realized. And like again, if you're in a situation, as I said in the video and before, if you're in a situation where you have a lot of the core healers that can be really good with Furina already, you really don't necessarily have that much need. Like my account would be more than fine without Sigewinne, right? It's not like I need Sigewinne at my investment level. But she's also a valuable character. I think I'm going to use her a lot more over time than I use Nuvilat. Like, I like her a lot more. And this is before C1 is activated, right? And I think C1 should make her notably better, particularly in like non-Furina context, because her buff will last longer for like Fischl or whatever. So yeah. I don't know. She has problems in like the accessibility of her DPS teams and whatever, but like if you don't have Aqua, right, you probably want to go down a route of, I imagine, like Viridescent Hunt. I will actually test Stringless with the Dia team quick here because I think that it's interesting. Other than that, right, I think you have the Messenger, which of course I don't have that. You have the Messenger, I think is like a crit damage substat. Maybe that's relevant. Recurve build could be even okay, even for a DPS build on Marchessaise, right? Since Marchessaise gives you so much of the crit stats you need, right? You have some like okay options, but it's not as good as like Nuvilat and Prototype Amber Synergy and whatever. So Yeah. You're pulling for Sigewinne's weapon instead of her because it's pretty. I mean, that's a choice. Like, I'm not even gonna say I respect it because honestly, no. Yeah. So, anywho's, yeah, Furina did indeed release last year. Should you copy your Sigewinne build or should you make mine? I mean, the artifacts are RNG for rolls. It's probably a statistical improbability for you to be able to exactly copy mine. But I like doing this HP build, but again, a large part of like kind of what starts to make that make sense is the conjunction of having like Aqua Simulacra. So like I'm getting so much crit damage from Aqua that I can have, you know, a lot of crit without having like crit main stat circlet, right? If I was doing non-Aqua Simulacra, I'd probably want a crit damage circlet, I suspect, right? So, you know, feel free to emulate it and let me know how it goes. This is what I have found that I like the most. And, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, let's get into actually testing some things. Actually, first, let's go, I want to kill the whale. I like this character enough that I'm actually going to level, I think I'm going to level 9 her burst and her skill. I wouldn't even bother level 9 her skill if it weren't for the fact that it annoys my monkey brain. If I leveled this to 9 and didn't have this at 9, whenever I saw it, it would bother me. So, how about doing Strongbox live streams if editing them is annoying? I mean, the problem is I need to save artifacts to do them then. So you're not wrong. I should probably just try to save up artifacts for a long time and do that. So there you go. Thank you for the reminder. I will try to remember to save my crap, so I can do that. Her backstory is dark, is it? I haven't done the story yet. Hopefully you can get her soon in your Bow's only account, NG. Logic says save artifacts for 5.0. Monkey Brain says Gamba. I mean, it's also that, like, I don't think I'm going to strongbox for Deepwood or Gilded on this account. I'd rather continue strongboxing for Emblem because I could still use some more some more Emblem pieces. Like, look, I still have no crit damage circlet. I leveled this crit damage circlet up the other day because I need to make sure Raiden could have her circlet pack that I put on Dia. And I leveled this up and it rolled ER the 4th line and then rolled twice in ER. I was very happy. This is actually like a great circlet. I love it. So anyways, but I would not mind, you know, if this flat HP was crit rate, right? That would be better. So, and then, like, you know, the Hail Mary of getting like this piece, but with like slightly more crit rate or having some crit damage on it, right? I don't know. I'm obsessed with optimizing Hyper Raiden. Also, Hyper Raiden in Double Hydro has 22,100 HP. This is loud. Hello? Alright. You wanna let me do something I need to do? What? How did this already spawn? I'm confused. Like, doesn't he normally, like, do a lot more? Bro, can you, like, do your thing where you stay on field for a few seconds? Bruh. Why? What is happening? What? I never got a chance to even do damage to it. He swallows you up after you just right. That's the first time I've seen it happen twice, though. Like, I've never seen it happen that early. He always, like, does his stuff where he like pops up above the ground. He like goes underground. He like pops up with just his head or whatever. I've never seen that before. Alright, now I don't have energy, of course. Classic. Yeah, I mean, no Furina buff. No surprise there. What? How did that not OSHA trigger? Oh my god. What? Oh, what? Really? Oh, I don't have a red burst. Oh my god, everything has gone wrong. Literally everything. I apparently didn't swirl Hydro either. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not gonna even... What? What is going on? What has happened with this boss? Like, why is this boss a buggy mess now? Why did it teleport to the other side? Yeah, this is the attack, I think. Ow. Oh no, this is not the attack. This is one of the ones that I didn't see though. I probably should just ride in there. Sigewinne apparently broke the boss, yes. I don't know. Sigewinne breaks all reality. Please, okay. I don't want to burst. Die, please. Good lord. Well, that was the jankiest I've ever seen that boss. Yeah, like normally that's like not that jank. Oh wow, look at that. 2 of the narwhal drops. That's what Sigewinne uses, or the black hole drops. That's what Sigewinne uses. Sick. Check the exiles pieces. Like that. You were waiting for the Sigewinne video? The Sigewinne video is already out. If you didn't see it, go watch that. Like, honestly, go leave the stream and go watch that first, because I'll probably be referencing some things and stuff I kind of already talked about. Alright, so yeah, not going to be able to level her burst or anything anymore for this video, but I probably will in the future. So let's go... Yeah, well, let's go test some things quick. We're gonna mostly be testing an Abyss. I know, like, it's Abyss, but like it's the most useful comparison I have, particularly because I already have experience testing some of these teams. Blah blah blah. Yeah, theater tomorrow. I should be streaming theater tomorrow, hopefully normal time, unless I don't wake up in time. So the notable one I'm curious to test with Sigewinne in that Dia team in particular, because Sigewinne does get some vapes. I want to see what Stringless is like on her. I don't think she gets vapes consistently enough for this to actually make sense, to be completely honest. But it's skill and burst damage percent. So just 1-for-1 swapping Stringless for Aqua. That's all we're doing here. And see how it goes. Actually, wait. I also should probably switch. Because I switched to this artifact when I switched to less ER when I was using Kazuha, because and Raiden, because had more energy, less energy needs in that team. 151 EM for her 2 vapes, yes, because like so much of her damage contribution is not vaped. It doesn't actually make sense to have that much EM, but maybe the damage percent will make up for it, right? That's the idea, at least. So we'll see. Kirara solo wait. No, we're not gonna do that. I wish. Soon, someday. Blam. Alright. I thought DPS Yelan used Aqua. No, Sigewinne uses it. It's her signature weapon. Oh, okay, that's funny. I guess I... Fine. Fine. Troll game. I just switched to a higher ER piece, and the game's like, no. Here's more ER for free. Fine. Fine. See, this is why I would like to switch my artifacts in the Abyss itself, not like whatever. I know I didn't have to fully exit. I just hit the run button. Like, why don't you let me change the artifacts before I actually start the run? Do Bennett DPS build. So anyways, like realistically, what I think the more interesting comparison for as far as DPS Sigewinne weapons go versus like Aqua versus another weapon is like Viardess and Hunt versus Aqua. Like Aqua should be significantly better than Viardess and Hunt, but not to like an absurd degree necessarily. So you know, but yeah, DPS Sigewinne has less options than someone like Neuvillette does in the context of like, hey, she does 1/3 of Neuvillette damage for 1/3 of the field time. Will you play ZZZ? I ignored you? How did I ignore you? I don't know. My apologies. Remind me to shut the builds after we're done. I literally went to domain call to farm artifacts for my wife. Someone had that little Hydro Gremlin, didn't think much until they bursted 50k. Yeah. It's a Neuvillette charge attack. Like, yeah. As far as ZZZ goes, Wuthering Waves is like I've dropped Star Rail completely. I didn't mention that. I don't feel like talking about it. I was actually enjoying playing some of the story in Star Rail, and then they did a really, really dumb decision in the new Divergent universe that just it was just a minor thing ultimately, but as a straw that broke the camel's back as far as like, okay, no, this is an asinine enough decision that I was just like, nope, uninstall. I had already uninstalled Star with my computer because I was mostly playing on my phone anyways, and I uninstalled it from my phone. I don't know if I really want to play more Gacha games. Like, Hoyoverse is pretty good at making Gacha games that, like, justify them being a Gacha to an extent. But, like, I'm also actually enjoying Wuthering Waves, too. Like, the new update is pretty good. I know it has problems for a lot of people, but, you know. I like Divergent Universe itself, but yeah, okay. I mean, we still killed that, and we still killed that in the first rotation of her burst. I didn't see what actual damage number she got because it's Furina's buff wasn't up because I did bad. But yeah, like I'm playing 2 Gacha games. Like that kind of feels like the healthy amount. We'll live stream anytime soon. Maybe this week. I'll try to remember when I'm playing, just doing Woo daily things. I'll try to remember to stream this week. Might be on Twitch though, so join the Twitch. It's likely going to be on Twitch. So, anywho's, Ocean Hued Clam on set. An Ocean Hued Clam set Furina, like putting Ocean Hued Clam on Furina. I'll probably try Ocean Hued Clam on Sigewinne. Probably not Furina. She doesn't generate energy. But anyways, the problem was the save file function. Like, they called the feature save files for Star Rail, and like when I was logging in, I wasn't even logging in weekly or daily anymore on Star Rail. And like, hey, they added a save file function so that I could actually like do things in HSR, like for farming like Vonwhack, for example, right? Okay, yeah, so like we're consistently just barely not killing them with Stringless, which is a little awkward. And the Divergent Universe save file function was meant to like save you a lot of time for farming, and it does, but it deletes the save files every week, and like it's called save files, and you can save 4 freaking save files, and it deletes after a week. Like, so it's just them deciding, oh, this saves you some time, except it doesn't save you time every 1 time a week at least, because we've decided you have to at least spend the prerequisite extra 30 minutes, potentially less, but like extra 30 minutes every week. But like, what if I don't have time at the start of the week, and I just want to go on my phone, hit plop, auto farm Divergent Universe ornaments? Like, and also I had an extraordinarily good Divergent Universe run that was 100% just plop it on autoplay. The blessings I had basically auto-killed anything. And it got deleted. It broke me. I was just like, no. You can't call something a save file and then auto-delete it. It's dumb. I get why they do it, because Gacha BS, they gotta like force you to do the weekly to get like the weekly rewards. Like, you're probably gonna do the weekly rewards anyways. I get it. It's like not actually that much of a problem once you get used to the way all the Gacha BS works. But it's just one of those layers of Gacha BS that just pisses me off. Yeah, like, would you like to play a video game that saves save files and auto-deletes them every week? That could be an interesting concept, honestly, for a video game in some sense. Like, you could probably have a game mechanic that goes designed around that. Like, around some, like, oh, it's save files that delete every week, but actually there's information that transfers over. Actually, it's kind of Outer Wilds in a sense, but not technically. Anyway, whatever. No, ZZZ is not open world, I don't think so. Anyways, let's try this again. Yeah, it broke me. I was just like, I was enjoying some stuff with Star Rail Story. Like I said on stream, how like there was even like really good side quest story I did. Okay, okay, that worked well, but you know what I want to see here quick? I'm gonna not use Furina so I can see what the vapes are, because like with Aqua Simulacra, she was getting like 85k vapes. Obviously, Aqua was getting like at least, I think, 30% more damage for the non-vape damage, which is duh. So yeah, I would probably recommend, if you don't, you know, ignoring 5-star bows, do something like a Reeker bow, whatever that other 3-star bow that I think has crit damage might be compelling, or Viridescent Hunt I think is potentially a compelling option, right? Alright. Oh, frick! Rain! So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna bother. I haven't decided yet. I should have decided by now because ZZZ is like next week. But unironically, you know what I might do? It's July 4th. I think July 4th is when we get like the free 10 pulls in the mail on Wuthering Waves. Like, I'm enjoying Wuthering Waves enough that I'd almost rather just stream Wuthering Waves than the ZZZ released it, right? Like, I don't know. It might be a good game, to be clear. I just like too many Gacha games, man. You can only stomach so much. Yeah, I have an R1 Reeker bow. You don't really need refinance on it, right? So, alright. 64k. Yeah, so unsurprisingly, stringless is quite a lot worse. Okay. If I had the Viridescent bow, the green bow leveled, I would test that, but that would also take a different build. This was like I could just use the exact same build and just swap it over. So yeah, this is just quite a lot worse. No surprise. Yeah, no surprise. So, anywho's, it's not dysfunctional, I don't think necessarily. And the reason it's not dysfunctional is because like the team is doing a lot more than just Sigewinne's damage, right? So it's not actually the end of the world for Sigewinne to be doing 30% less damage. But yeah, something like this I think could honestly be more compelling, not because of the passive being relevant at all, but just because, hey, it's a crit stat stick. But so could even like Slingshot, honestly, in that regard, I guess, now that I think about it. Yeah, I guess Slingshot is actually more compelling as a generic crit stat stick, so I don't know. I just don't feel like mucking around with my artifacts, right? But you get the point. Particularly because like it would require heavier crit damage substats. Like I don't even have a crit main stat circlet on right now, so I'd have to reconfigure too much, and I just don't feel like it. So yeah, it's not mentally sane to play more than one Gacha game. Yeah, you're gonna be pulling for Exa Blanca. I mean, what? Want to donate any of your Skyward Harps? I mean, I would love to. This game just, yeah. I'm pretty sure, by the way, I think one of these Skyward Harps was from Weapon Banner. The other 3 are from Standard Banner. I'm also getting close to Standard Banner pity again. It would be really funny if Standard Banner dumped another Skyward Harp on me. And if it dumps another Skyward Harp on me, I probably won't be able to resist R5ing it, because if I R5 it, my Fischl will get another universe, and she'll have over 200 crit damage. So, you know, anywho's. Sharpshooter's Oath has more crit damage than the Messenger if you're really strung up for the crit damage substat. Yeah, so like that would actually be the more interesting comparison, but don't have a Sharpshooter's Oath also at all, because I'm dumb, and I apparently never locked that. I thought I had in the past locked like anything that had like a crit substat for 3-star pieces, but apparently I didn't. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that's a bow that you get through Gacha, so I'll try to pay attention for it. Hello, Akix Band? Okay, I cannot. Bandseed? I have no idea, yo. Akixpa? Your username, I'm sorry. It's my first opportunity to stream. Love your VODs, they're very entertaining. Welcome, thank you for joining. Yeah, I know there's a lot. I try to like pay attention to like the difference of like what my view count is when I end a stream versus like what it is like a week or two later. And yeah, I think like about there's probably at least half of the viewers for my live streams are VOD watchers. That's why I try to like make sure I acknowledge them sometimes. Can we clear Imaginarium Theater within 1 hour? I mean, I don't know. It depends how much of a quest BS there is beforehand, but when I actually start the content itself, I suspect I will be able to clear it pretty quickly. What's next? So we tested Stringless. Yeah, if anyone else tests DPS Sigewinne, like, let me know how it goes for you, like without Aqua Simulacra notably. But yeah, I really like this balance of Aqua Simulacra enabling it. Like the Aqua Simulacra kind of is what starts to make it makes sense to do this HP build, I think. If I had an onset Hydro Goblet, I would try to compare Hydro Damage Goblet versus HP Goblet, but I don't, so, you know, there's not even really a point to compare, because I don't have comparable enough artifacts. So, alright, I'm gonna mark my checklist stuff. Oh yeah, real quick, as far as, like, Emily versus Nahida, I mentioned this in the video today, right? We're in the, not this team, in the, let's put them back. Dia.
I got your boss.
Got your boss. And Nahida, right? In this team variation.
For us to explore.
I suspect Emily in place of Nahida can still potentially be better in a lot of situations. It will be worse core generation, but higher single target damage potential, potentially really meaningfully higher single target damage potential with Emily instead of Nahida. The notable thing, though, with that could be interesting is that, and this is why, like, I don't think Emily's gonna, like, I noticed in my footage, and the reason I mention this is because, like, having watched actual footage, like, when I'm not playing, it's easier to, like, pay attention, like, what elements are on enemies at any given time when I was playing this team in the footage. And there was instances, and a lot of this was cut out, to be clear, but the different things that were cut out that I recorded, and there were instances where, like, Hydro was just on the enemy, and that, like, Dio was getting, like, vapes, right? And a lot of times what was happening, that X is Hydro, that's because of things like Dia has Hydro application that, like, she will sometimes apply, like, 3 units of Hydro in, like, 1.5 seconds, multiple instances of Hydro in a pretty short time frame, and that overrides any burning aura and puts some underlying Hydro on the enemy sometimes, but it's inconsistent. But in conjunction with Nahida, that means, like, you can generate some Dendro cores. Emily has a lot less Dendro application than Nahida, right? So that Hydro is probably not going to be used to generate that many Burgeon cores. So, like, I'm pretty skeptical about Burgeon Emily teams being that compelling. But the point of this wouldn't be for it to be a Burgeon Emily team. The point of it would be to do carry Dia in conjunction with having Emily as a competent off-field damage dealer, right? And Emily's own multiplier value should be very relevant for the team at a baseline. But notably, because of having less Dendro, it should actually be even easier for Nahida and Sigewinne's Hydra application to overwrite the burning aura. And I suspect what might end up happening is that it's a team configuration where Dia may get more vapes than Furina. And that's possible that it makes the team worse because of that. But I'm not sure. I'm going to have to play it to test it out. It's a really hard thing to evaluate on paper because of how Furina's Hydra application lines up and how, like, the burning aura gets created and consumed. Like, it's like really hard to impossible to map that out on paper without just like assuming, like, because you can't even assume, like, Furina's Hydra is going to hit at certain times on certain enemies because, like, it's got weird targeting. Like, you get the point. Emily will be very, very interesting to test in this team instead of Nahida. I think it will be an improvement in some ways, but not necessarily in other ways. I don't think it would be a bad thing necessarily to vape more on Dia. In some ways, I would actually almost enjoy that more. So anyways, I really look forward to testing out Emily in this team is my point. So yeah. I just don't, I am not sure what it'll work out to be. That's why I said maybe in the video. And after watching my own combat stuff and, like, trying to watch the elements on enemies, I'm even more maybe about it. I think there will be plenty of Emily teams that work, including Emily teams that include Sigewinne, but maybe, like, Sigewinne without Furina, right? I think Emily in burning teams with Sigewinne can actually take advantage of Sigewinne having low Hydra application in order to keep up more burning uptime to more consistently trigger the Emily's passive, because that's actually an issue too, wherein, like, not being able to consistently trigger burning constantly with Emily means that in a solo Dendro situation in this team, Emily instead of Nahida might not trigger Emily's passive, which is a pretty significant damage loss for Emily, right? Again, that's why it's maybe. But if you go into the context of Emily with Sigewinne, just in general, in a generalized sense, you can get the skill damage buff for Emily and get burning consistently because you don't have as much Hydra application, right? Furina's has a meaningful amount of Hydra application that could overwrite the burning. Sigewinne does not have that much Hydra application, will not actually overwrite the burning anywhere near as much. So you get the point, right? It's the same thing where in like Dia can have value for being a pyro unit that does some off-field pyro, but is a low amount of pyro, or like how Nahida makes it hard to swirl Electro, right? There's reason to have Dendro units that apply less Dendro so that you can swirl Electro with your Kazuha for an aggravate team. There's potential value to having less Hydra applications sometimes. And I think Emily is actually one of those potential contexts. So it'll be interesting. Emily doesn't buff neither that. Oh yeah. By the way, Zoifet. What? This dude managed to turn me into a siege. Like, I went from mostly mad on her like everyone else to be like, nah, this character's actually good. I really like this character. So, anywho's. Oh yeah, you know what? You know how like I struggled to think of an Alhaitham team? I don't have an Alhaitham team configured anymore. You know how I struggled to think of an Alhaitham team that could do Alhaitham and Furina together? Without specifically abusing C2 Furina? We could do Alhaitham, Furina, Sigewinne, Kuki. Or Raiden. Sorry, not even Kuki. Raiden. Well, Raiden would actually be meaningfully better. Because Raiden is meaningfully better for Hyperblooms, right? Like, yeah. I don't know. Like, is that not like that's the first context? Like I was really struggling on the Alhaitham stream to figure out like, how do I use Alhaitham and Furina together, without having, you know, because there was no like compelling options for the healers to actually make Furina make sense without Furina C2 being abused. And you can do double Hydro, Furina, Sigewinne, which I already talked about. That core increases Furina's damage, reduces your ER needs, blah blah blah. Alhaitham then applies Dendro, you get blooms, and then Raiden can be there. Blam. Like, yeah. Like, there's actually a Furina team that makes Alhaitham work now with Sigewinne. You could do Barbara, to be clear, but like, you know, it's going to be a lot worse than, like, Barbara, Furina, Alhaitham, Raiden is going to be way worse than with Sigewinne because Barbara generates 0 energy for Furina, so Furina's energy costs are just same as solo Hydro, basically. And, you know, doesn't have the skill but damage buffing, right? And the Barbara's energy needs herself are annoying as heck. So, you know, you get the point. How good is Raiden with Emblem set and 400 EM? I mean, if you're talking about my hybrid Raiden with Staff of Scarlet's Hands, very good. Anywho's. So let's... Oh, how you know what? Before we move, there's actually one more team to test with DPS Sigewinne here. I want to test this team, but with Bennett instead of Nahida, which Bennett should actually be on instructors, I think, in this team. And the idea with Bennett, like, Bennett's really awkward this Abyss, because, you know, he's not great at adapting to like the new waves. Why am I going to the end? But the idea is to use Bennett, is to configure the team instead around doing like Nahida getting vapes on Furina and Sigewinne. Instead, configure the team so that I can consistently, every rotation, get vapes on Dia, right? So the idea will be to do Furina, EQ into Dia skill, into Sigewinne EQ, into Bennett Q, into Dia, right? That's the idea. And that might reduce Dia's ER needs too. I'm not going to change Dia's build for this instance. But, you know, actually, okay, you know, do I... No, I mean, I don't feel like changing his build. He's going to stay on Noblesse. Alhaitham, Furina, Baiju, Raiden. Yeah, you can do that, yes. Why did I not do that before? Actually, why did I not think of that before? I don't remember. Maybe I just derped. But yeah, you can do that. Like, Sigewinne is not the only one, obviously. I think Sigewinne should still be meaningfully better than Baiju, though. Like the as far as increasing the team's DPS, I'm pretty confident of that. Because Baiju isn't really doing much there other than being a healer for Furina and having a little bit of extra Dendro, but a little bit of extra Dendro isn't that relevant. Whereas the skill buffing and reducing Furina's ER needs is quite relevant, right? I think. But anyways. Yeah, not saying I had to pull Sigewinne, but I do think most of the community is underrating her. She actually, I think her kit is worthy of being a 5-star. I said before where I like my feelings on her beforehand were she's a character that feels like she has a very good kit for a 4-star. No, she has a good kit for a 5-star. I just think she's in a fairly balanced state, honestly. Okay, so we'll see how this works. I suspect this is going to be quite a lot worse in this chamber, so this is less a comparison of time clears because of how Bennett is just kind of bad for this abyss. But I just want to like see that dynamic, I suppose, right? Like in particular, I think without Nahida here, it's going to be a lot harder to kill these at the start. So like that's going to be one of the baseline things that'll be worse. Gotta do that. Right, like, see, that's really awkward. All right, so let's retry that. Let's see if we can kill them in the first rotation. Go to the Ruin Guard and then burst on Bennett on the Ruin Guard. I think this would work better like against the Magi Kinkies actually. So maybe we'll go to them. Die. Really? Okay. We're gonna run out of Furina buff though. Okay, it worked okay. So they get a couple vapes on her there. Honestly, it's actually better than I expected. Even with Bennett being a bit awkward here. Okay. Okay. I don't know. That was better than I thought. Like, Bennett is a pretty freaking awkward character in that chamber. Like, see, again, Sigewinne can have 1/3 of a Nuvilette. She's 1/3 of a Nuvilette. Sure, that's not, like, if you divide Nuvilette's damage by 3, that's not great. Except it's 1/3 of the field time, and you can do other things with the field time. Sigewinne's is Dia C6 or C0? That is Dia C1. There's not an EM card here. Like, it's a little bit. This team is definitely a little bit worse than the other ones I was playing at killing these guys, right? Like that's not great, but I can. Okay, there we go. Wait. Oh well. I thought he was dead. So, you know, this is like a, you know, it's Dia, so she has a little bit lower crit rate, whatever. Furina has a little bit lower crit rate, etc., etc. So, part of it is potentially build optimization here. Oh, you know what? Wait. Oh, well, that's fine. Like this, so like, Zajef is not a believer in burning and burgeon because he's like silly, and he doesn't actually like having fun. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. But like, he likes Dia, and he likes carry Dia. I think this might work well enough to convince Zajef to pull for Sigewinne. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know. I didn't have. Oh wait, no, I did have rain up there. Oh, it's because they were doing their animation. Duh. Oh god. Okay. Well, no, I just bad. All right. So Here, okay, this team is good enough that I want to try it against the Kinkies. So let's just throw together something for the second side. I didn't expect Bennett to feel as good as he did there. I think it makes sense to do Sigewinne's. Wait, no, you do Furina. You do her skill first, and you do Sigewinne EQ. Yeah, okay. Here, let's just do. No, wait, that's a bit too much electro. I don't know, just that, whatever, doesn't matter. We just need to get to the second chamber. I wanna see. Why not Xiangling? Because why would I do Xiangling? Ew, Xiangling. To be clear, Xiangling could be more than competent, potentially better than Dia. It's not the point. The point is to make use of like the dynamic of both these being like short field time window carry units that can be played in the carry playstyle, but also Sigewinne is still doing healing. Why? I don't want to play Xiangling. Xiangling instead of Bennett? I mean, yeah, if you want to get consistent forward vapes still. Like yeah, Xiangling instead of Bennett is an option. I do not want to deal with Xiangling's energy needs in this team. So, yeah. It's definitely an option, though. It would probably enable a better, a more adaptable dynamic to, like, having, regardless of if Xiangling is vaping or Dia is vaping, but also Xiangling without Bennett is a lot worse, unless you're doing something like I do on poems only with Engulfing Lightning. Solo, Bennett-less Xiangling with Engulfing Lightning is very good. Bennett-less Xiangling without that, without Bennett, Bennett-less Xiangling without Engulfing Lightning is a lot worse. Because she just has so much less attack that her baseline amount of damage is a lot more limited. But anyways, yeah. Okay. Not quite optimal there, considering I lost the Furina buff, but not the end of the world. I forgot the Sigewinne skill. Not bad. Yeah, I forgot to Sigewinne skill and I don't have energy. Whoops. Whoopsies. We still get some vapes on them. I really like this team, actually. Okay, this works better than I thought it would. Ow, can you stop?
Goodbye.
Is there a big difference between Furina and Kokomi? Yeah, I mean, if you're comparing Furina and Kokomi and Sigewinne, that's a much more good comparison. I don't know. Since the vibe, how desirable a healer is, I think with Furina's existence, right, any healer that has a lot more synergy with Furina has a lot more compelling pull value. Like Kokomi definitely has situations where she's meaningfully better than Sigewinne, notably in areas where you care about more Hydra application. Like I don't think I'll have time to test Nilou Bloom. Maybe at the end of the stream. Like Nilou Bloom with Kokomi versus Nilou Bloom with Sigewinne. Kokomi should be a lot better. A lot better.
Inactivity serves no purpose
but
whatsoever.
in the context of like how useful healers are with Furina, right? I never use Kokomi with Furina. Like, to be clear, you can do Kokomi on field with Furina in some teams. But Sigewinne has so much more generic utility. Than Kokomi, because she doesn't have the field time requirements for doing team-wide healing, right? And skill damage buffing for Furina, of course.
There's no escape.
A bitter pill to swallow. Seems like an emergency.
Here comes the catch. Quietly now.
Midnight, fantastic.
Really? My face.
Take it easy. Game's up. Fun's over.
The doctor will see you.
Taking a turn.
Now you shall perish. Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Yeah.
Seems like an
I
emergency.
probably shouldn't even done that.
Midnight Venta.
Illusion shattered. Inazuma
Wasting so much heal on. Oh, just separate them. Good job, me. Good job, me.
I summon thee. On.
Gotcha. Quietly now. Game's up. Fun's over. Shine down.
Mind the side effects.
Oh my god,
Taking a
please.
turn for the better.
Shadow Raven.
Gotcha.
Oops.
Things are about to get dicey. Illusion shattered. Torn to oblivion.
I like this team against this chamber, but also it's probably not going to work as well for you.
The doctor will
I would probably play it without Baiju, honestly. I'd just go healerless. I just screwed up. Whatever, it's fine. Doesn't matter. That was just my skill issue. Not the point. We're testing the first half team anyways. EM, huh? Yeah, we'll take EM. Alright. Do I have energy? Well, I will soon. Oh boy, that's on you. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, turns out energy is still nice, and I shouldn't have been so aggressive with the previous chamber. At this point, we're just gonna let it go to its next phase, yeah. This. This first. Alright. I forgot Bennett. Also, I think my YouTube stream chat broke. Good job, YouTube. Alright.
Let's light it up.
let the world collide.
Not want to use you.
Shower me with praise.
You just like cease existence. Alright. I'm gonna teleport. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Can I get my energy back? Okay, I should have done another Sigewinne skill. My bad. I definitely should have.
Let's get it up.
Calm down.
You bother.
You know this? Just relax.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Oh, wrong there, wrong there. Oh my god. Okay, well. 70k, nice. Oh, I ended up applying too much pyro there? That's funny. I mean, so again, that's actually the reason like I ended up getting underlying pyro there, despite Dia not having great pyro application, is because again, Furina has inconsistent hydro application. So, you know, I don't know. I think I didn't have Sigewinne's E going there. Sigewinne's E going there might actually be the difference between making sure I don't overwrite the hydro aura, which is funny. So, anywho's, your hybrid Redden is 4-piece gilded. The team's good enough, but yeah, I think we're good enough there. I need to test other things. Patch is almost over. We didn't get an Imaginary Theory. I mean, yeah, we're getting it tomorrow. I said it was starting the 1st. Is it possible to outheal Furina's buff with Kokomi on field? Because HP is no longer rising and falling rapidly. I mean, yeah, Kokomi can work pretty well with Furina if you have enough ER on Kokomi to burst consistently. Like, Sigewinne is so much easier to build for just generic, easy, Furina supportive utility, right? So your Furina skill wasn't activated. Yeah. That would be why too. Okay. So, yep. There we go. Herpaderp. I blame Magu Kenki where like it has time wasting mechanics and I forget to do obvious things. Oh well, it's fine. This team clearly works well enough. The Bennett variation. This team works well enough. I will probably test that team a little bit more on my lonesome, and I might record a clip and then send it to Zajeff because I think it's the #1 thing that might like showing Dia working that well with Sigewinne might compel Zajeff to pull. I think he would actually enjoy doing Dia and Sigewinne together. So, anywho's, you know, whatever skill issue mess up a little bit there. It's fine. Do I use Tignari? Yeah, quite a lot. Usually with Yai. I'm gonna claim my expeditions because I never did before for some reason. So let's test the main things we need to test now. Before we activate C1, right? I want to test. You know what, maybe I should test this team more before I activate C1. Because the thing is, if I want to send a clip of this to Zajeff, I know what Zajeff do. Zajeff is gonna be like, but you have constellations. Like, yes, I will tell him that Furina C2 is there and doing meaningful damage, but like, the focus will be the fact that, you know, and if I have Furina or Sigewinne C1, he's gonna be like, it's Sigewinne. You're just succeeding because you have some constellations. Even if it doesn't make that much of a difference. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference in that team, but it won't make zero difference. So, anywho's. You mentioned about people asking about builds that there's a section that... Oh, a section. Yeah, there's a section in my Discord for build help. C1, when we test that later, is bolstering bubble, can bounce 3 extra times. One thing I'm not sure, we'll find out when we activate it, is her heal says like her heal is worded that after, right, it bounces 5 times, it will disappear and then restore HP. So one weird slight issue with her C1 might be if it bounces 3 extra times, that means Sigewinne's personal heal will take notably longer to get. And that's actually worse for Furina because that means less front-loaded damage percent. It won't matter in my case with Furina C2, but that's a weird slight anti-synergy potentially. But it's possible that it's possible that the heal still happens after 5 bounces, but then it continues bouncing after the heal happens. Or it's possible that the heal gets delayed until after 8 bounces. I'm not sure. I didn't even notice the guy spamming. That's funny. So... Anyways, but more importantly, right, every time it bounces, so it can bounce 8 times, right, it will add 1 stack to her skill damage buff, and then also her skill damage buff is about 20% higher. So basically it makes her skill damage buff like twice the skill damage buff, essentially. It doubles the value of her buff. It is the simple way to explain it. So, anyways, how about we doing, I have a stroke, Jesus. How about doing a viewer character flex stream? Yeah, see, I need to stream more. that's the solution to these problems. Yeah, just let me jot it down as a note. So hopefully, maybe soon, TM, viewer builds review stream. I don't think they're that interesting because the problem with reviewing individual builds is not knowing the context in which people use them in. And like, obviously they'll be in chat and they'll be able to tell me, but like, if it's not obvious, I've been one to embrace doing different styles of builds for characters, and that means like who am I to judge if someone wants me to look at their Kave? I think someone actually showed this in the Discord the other day, right? And is like, shows me a Kave build with 800 EM. Like, they're using Kave as the main like bloom trigger. I don't think that's the best way to get value out of Kave, but they were playing Kave in a triple Hydro team. Not with Nilu, I don't think. They were just doing Kave as the solo Dendro and triple Hydro. Like, yeah, then he should have the most EM if you actually want to use his bloom stuff, right? Is it going to clear Abyss with that build? Probably not. But it can probably be comfortable for a lot of content still. So, you know, and it's kind of like, that's what it kind of almost always becomes, I feel like, wherein like, I just like looking in a generic kind of just like, okay, here's your Furina build. Well, hey, you might want more ER on your Furina for a lot of team contexts, but I guess in some team contexts it's fine. And that looks like a pretty good Furina build. That's the end conclusion for a lot of them. So, I don't know. I do intend to do like account fixing things in some form in the future. But like speed run account things. So, anywho's. What we need to test, though, on Sigewinne still is Sacrificial Bow, notably. So Sacrificial Bow with her at C0. We tested this when I first got Sigewinne. When you use a second skill, so her passive for her skill buff here and her Hydro bonus says it gives this when you use her skill, right? You get this effect for 18 seconds. If you use a second skill from the Sacrificial Bow reset, it just resets this passive, so you don't get an additional 10 stacks, you just get reset to 10 stacks. So that means the way to use Sacrificial Bow at C0 is to basically just have a team dynamic wherein you're free to swap to her consistently, and whenever you have the skill up, you can use it. Like, it can increase your uptime for your skill buff, right? But it's at C0, it's like annoying enough to think about. I think it's probably not worthwhile. But let's try to think of a team context real quick wherein it would make sense to do that, right? So, it's not the team screen. So, let's see. In the team context where I think that's relevant is like when you have multiple skill-based damage dealers, and Dia could be one of those, but I think one of the more obvious ways to show is going to be like Furina, Sigewinne, actually, honestly, this team, right? Off-field skill-based damage dealer, off-phase skill-based damage dealer, off-field skill-based damage dealer. 10 stacks of her skill damage buff is going to run out immediately. So, this is actually a context where in Sackbow, we basically press E on Sigewinne, we do EQ on Furina, use Fischl, use Nahida, press E on Sigewinne, right? And then, like, the buff will run out very quickly. And then, after we wait just a short time, and then we use the second skill, right? And that like this is the context wherein this can double this team can get double the value, I think, out of Sackbow on Sigewinne, right? So Furina, so I'll use this as my baseline to compare. And we're gonna put Sigewinne on a normal build this time now. C1 increases stacks. Yeah, so notably, yes, with C1, right? The more interesting thing with Sackbow, even with C1, is that since you gain stacks from the bubble bouncing, right? That means Sackbow giving you an additional reset for your skill means you can keep the bubble just kind of constantly up, potentially, is my thinking. Although actually, I'm not even sure that that's that relevant. I still think it's mostly only relevant in the context, but yeah. Anyways, like, I think regardless of Sackbow shenanigans, you're basically still just like doubling the value of her skill damage buff, essentially. But yeah, like look at her skill cooldown. Her skill cooldown is 18 seconds. Okay, let's go somewhere else where it won't jump up a building. But like, I think her skill, like bouncing 5 times, lasts about like half of her cooldown. So her C1 also increases her Hydro application. 2, 3. Why is it disappearing? Oh, I just heard it again. What is it doing? Where is it landing? Okay. In this team, maybe Thundering Fury is good. Yeah, there could be some shenanigans with Thundering Fury. I don't know if it will be enough. The problem is, like, Thundering Fury, the character with Thundering Fury has to trigger the reaction, right? And I don't know how often Sigewinne's actually going to be the one triggering the reaction. But it's like triggering the Electro reaction specifically, right? It can't be Bloom. It has to be Electro on the enemy, and it might function. I don't have the artifacts on Thundering Fury to properly test it, like a HP Thundering Fury. Yeah, see, so like her skill cooldown is about halfway done when it's done bouncing. So that means with 8 bounces, it's going to be not quite halfway done. So Sackbow with C1, I think, might even be less relevant than Sackbow with C0. So, anywho's, let's test this team though. Let's reconfigure Sigewinne's build to like I think I'll just steal my Nilu artifacts. We'll just do like a full HP, right? Yeah. Oh, that, okay, Nilu used to be using this. Let me see, is there anything else that I have that has 21% HP? I mean, that's okay. No, okay. This is the only piece I have that had 20% HP. Okay, and sure, I guess we'll do that then. And we'll just leave her on that, why not? And then, blam. Blam. Alright, so full fat, 2 HP build. 54,700 HP. That's slightly unfortunate. It's not any higher than that, but I don't really think there's a way. Well, okay, fine. Ugh, fine. Give me a second. Does she get to 55k with Sackbow with this and this? No, not that. Shit. Sorry. Yeah, she does. Okay, we'll do this then. 55k HP. Furina needs to be on this. Okay. So 55k HP. Furina should be fine. 55k HP, and yep. Furina has more than she needs. It's fine. Also, YouTube is breaking just constantly, by the way, so sorry for ignoring chat. It's YouTube's fault. Okay. How much HP? She doesn't have a cap on her buff, but she needs to be over 30k to get any skill damage buff. So this would be 20. At 55k HP, that would be 25 stacks. So 25 times the 80 flat damage. So 25 times 80. So that's 2,000 flat damage buff. And that flat damage is multiplied by like your character's crit and their damage bonus and whatnot. So yeah, like a flat damage bonus in conjunction with Furina goes pretty hard. Yeah, it should be pretty good, right? Because yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. Because we'll do like I wonder what the optimal way to do this is. I don't know. Let's just, I think we'll do Furina, EQ, then Nahida, then Fischl,
No, I didn't put a sticker on your back.
and then Sigewinne on-field EQ. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And then, like, after we Sigewinne burst, we just do another E, probably. I think that's the most sensible way to do this. That's my feeling right now. Let's go test it against the local legend, though. Then we'll go to the Abyss. Well, I'll do another Apple Vision Pro Genshin gameplay if they ever made it like officially available on it, maybe. You show tar tag build. No, I cannot. It's physically impossible for me to show you my Tartaglia build. Yeah, I like HP scalers too. Oh, they're great. Okay. Furina. You want to do this before doing this. Alright, no skill damage buff for now. Skill damage buff. Alright, and like, the skill damage buff is probably gone, so at that point, right, use the skill again, and then we get the skill damage buff back. That's the idea, and then we do a new rotation. Now, we get smacked. And, okay, so maybe, okay, you know what? Thundering Fury might be more relevant than I expected there, because did you notice the skill cooldown wasn't back? Okay, you're doing too much damage. Too much damage. I need you alive. Yeah. I don't know, that worked. Right? It worked. Like, I think there is a little bit of awkwardness with the cooldown lineup when you're using the reset. So there might be optimal times to do that. But let's do it one more time quick.
The tea can wait.
I get my... There we go.
Time to shine.
There we be.
Oh, it's reveal. Commit it to memory. Make yourselves at home.
I wonder, you know, the way to probably optimize this a little bit is to
Medical research.
do Sigewinne's E not after doing everyone else. So let's get our energy back. Alright. Can I get energy? Hello?
Yeah, calm down. This might hurt a little.
No. Okay, there we go. Now. So yeah, I think we can make the sac bow passive and whatever reset line up. But yeah, it's awkward rotation wise, sure, but you don't have to like have a specific 20-second rotation this team, right? Is the idea. Oh well, I guess we're in combat.
Let the world collide. Let's see. Commit it to memory.
Alright, get the skill damage buff going there. Do this. Now.
Midnight phantasm.
Time to shine.
What am I stuck in something? There we go.
Make yourselves at
Lord.
home.
Okay, well. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it lines up properly. But it's interesting in that I think Thundering Fury might actually make sense. That's funny. Okay, so I don't have the artifacts for it to like properly test this, right? I'm gonna test Thundering Fury here. Just keep in mind, like, I don't even think I'm gonna have any skill damage buffing in testing this because yeah, I just won't. I just can't. It's not possible. So unless I have over 30, I might be able to get slightly over 30k, I guess. I'm just gonna plop on whatever, right? Just so that I can trigger the set bonus, right? Sure, I guess we'll do a crit piece, and I do have this piece at least. So I have one HP time piece or HP piece. I have any HP substats and feathers? No. What about? Nope. Okay. Well. Switch that. There we go. Okay, so 4-piece Thundering Fury. Okay, we'll get a tiny little bit of skill buff. She has 36,000, so a little bit of skill buffing. But obviously, we'll be able to get much more skill buffing from having, you know, HP Goblet, HP Circlet, right? Would be the idea. I think this might make the cooldowns actually line up. Wherein, like, because I kept I had instances multiple times there where I was like, swap to Sigewinne, would like to use a skill again, but it was like 2 or 3 seconds on cooldown, which is like exactly that amount wherein like just triggering TF a couple times can do it. Yeah, I know TF doesn't trigger on field, but this is a team where you can on field her. Like, you leave her on field. Not constantly, you're swapping between other units constantly. But like, we'll be doing things on field with her, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't have energy. Frick. Okay, well, we're gonna get energy and then we're gonna
The tea can wait.
redo things, I guess.
By royal decree.
Yeah. So we're not comparing DPS here. We're just gonna compare if the cooldowns like actually line up.
Let's see. Commit it to memory.
All right. Got C1 in her weapon early. Congrats. So, we'll see. The question is, does she even trigger at any meaningful degree? Which is mostly a question of, like, she should be able to trigger it as long as there is consistent electro on the enemies. Which Fischl applies a whack ton of electro, so that can be the case. But it also might not be the case because Nahida applies a whack ton of Dendro. It means, and in conjunction with like the Hydro, might mean that the electro that Fischl's applying is just always triggering a reaction with something else. which means the Electro is getting consumed, and if there's no Electro on enemy, we're not triggering with Sigewinne, therefore the passive might be doing nothing, functionally, right? And there might be a team configuration where TF can still make sense, but like it's going to be... If it doesn't work in this team, I don't think it's that relevant, basically. Because you'd have to do like double Hydro... Like you could do maybe like double Hydro Electro Charge things, right? And it might make sense. Doing, you know, Furina, Official, Sigewinne, and like Kazuha or whatever. Still with TF, because in that context she might be able to trigger a lot more, but still. Yeah. I'd want it to be able to trigger here.
The tea can wait.
Let the world fly! Odds reveal that. Sharing my knowledge. Don't be nervous. Just relax.
Oh, frick. Whoops. Yeah, I know. I did a dumb there. I did a dumb there. I know. I didn't use her second skill before I bursted, which is when we would be triggering some TF, right? Oops. No. Try again. Do this more properly. Then will Imaginarium Theater start? Yeah, I assume it's on daily reset, so presumably 4 AM. Presumably. Please, can I teleport? You know what? Part of my problem is just this stupid thing being here. Don't need that there. I know he's here. Alright.
The tea can wait.
Time to shine. By royal decree. Calm down. Make yourselves at home.
Now.
Let's see. He might feel a little prick.
It's working.
As you wish, main for life.
Let the world come alive. Committed to memory.
It's a little close, but hey, it's still... Oh, I didn't... Okay, that was dumb. I should have like redone official or whatever. I don't know if I actually had to do official there, but yeah, no, I definitely should have reset official there. It works. It does work. Wait, no, let's make sure you don't die. It does work. Interesting.
Don't slip and fall.
Interesting. I think that is like pretty compelling, right? Because this team has that dynamic of being able to like reuse her skill pretty consistently. This is a team where I think C1 in particular would also be making a notable difference then in conjunction with that, because I do think there is still a meaningful amount of skill damage happening in that instance. That isn't, it's very hard to tell because we're not even getting that much of a buff right now, right? But I think there is a meaningful amount of skill damage happening there that is running out of the buff still pretty quickly, because there's so many skill damage instances happening in rapid order that the buff disappears pretty fast. So the C1 getting additional stacks from the bounces, it's potentially quite significant. So yeah, if he tried not to teleport away but right at the same spot, I think he, I don't know, maybe he doesn't. From what I recall, if you're in combat and you teleport, because I have it placed so close, I think he might still be in combat with you immediately, but I can double check that. I might be wrong. Yeah.
The tea can wait.
Let's try again.
Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom. Don't be nervous. Just relax.
Also, notably, like this is just like a crit rate circlet, right? But she was still doing not 0 damage. I want to point that out too.
Time to shine.
Midnight fantastic.
Grow. Make yourselves at home.
Okay. We didn't get our skill cooldown back that time, so we triggered a... Okay, so it's a little bit variable. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was actually watching the aura there that time. There was just like not electro on him. I don't know, maybe I just didn't have official going because I'm bad. But I don't know, just at a baseline though, right? Even ignoring like the value of the... Even ignoring the trying to like min-max the skill buff here, right? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to like min-max the skill buff in messing around with Thundering Fury and Sac Bow shenanigans. Yeah, Nahida's applying too much danger. That's what I kind of mentioned before, where I was skeptical Thundering Fury be able to be triggered consistently. Here we can try a Electro Charge variation quick, just to see if that changes anything.
Want me to come along?
But the baseline idea, right, is just to min-max the skill damage buff. But even regardless of that, that's a team context wherein Official, Nahida, and Furina are all doing meaningful damage. And regardless of her buff, her being a team-wide healer that works so well with Furina makes that team compelling even without constant uptime on the buff, right? That's one thing that is worth noting.
The tea can wait.
Really?
By royal
Bro, really?
Just relax. I'll be fine. Wings of darkness.
Wind strike.
Let the world collide. I swear it's for medical research.
I don't even know. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't even know if it's... Oh, you're dying too fast. You're dying too fast. Let's see what happens when we teleport. I think his health will be reset, but... Oh, well, okay. Well, I was right, I think, for the wrong reasons, though. It was because of the things still persisting and targeting him. So, yeah, I don't know. TF is weird. That's what I can say. Let's go back to, like, the full HP, right? And just... see how like this is with just full buff. I don't know. It's hard to compare without having actual HP, right? Build going. Wait, that was the one you had before. Okay. Where is it? I'm blind. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. No, wrong button. Good lord. If only loadouts were an actual thing in this game. Okay. Alright, blam. Let's do this team one more time. Your stream cooked itself for a second because of all the effects. My
The
apologies.
tea can wait.
The tea can wait. Ow. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot the E. God dang it, brain. See, this team should definitely be triggering. Like, just watching the... Stop. Just stop it, Bahol. Just watching the aura on him, right? You can see Electros on him pretty consistently. I think this team, Thundering Fury should work better in, right? So you don't have what happened here, when my skill was on cooldown. But with more energy recharge, I could just be bursting in the time that the skill has on cooldown too, so... I don't know. Official's doing like 20k damage I saw there before the buff ran out, I think. Hello, Maria. It's interesting. I do suspect, right? Like I definitely noticed like the buff when it ran out there. It was pretty easy to tell. Like C1 will probably make a significant difference there. I don't have recurve bow leveled up to... Well, what does it take? I didn't check, I guess. Of course. Don't even have enough for the level 20 ascension. So technically putting Aqua Simulacra on her is better for me. As far as increasing HP goes, because I get more HP. But like, yeah, I think realistically, it's probably not worth worrying about doing stack push shenanigans, is my guess. But in a team that is freeform, to be able to constantly use her skill, I do think there is value to be gained from Sackbow, for keeping more healing uptime, more potential, a little bit of Hydra application uptime. Like Sackbow is the closest you can get to having C1 without getting C1, right? And there is shenanigans with the Thundering Fury too, but I think the Thundering Fury is going to be too situational. But it's awkward in how it lines up, which is not surprising. That's usually the case when you have long cooldown things. So yeah, I don't know. I wish Sackbow worked a little bit differently with her buff. Like, I wish it just added stacks. But it does not. So, you know, we deal with the reality as it is. Now, can I? There we go.
Phantasmagoria.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Time to shine. Let's see. Okay. I swear it's for medical research.
I still think I like Sigewinne on a DPS build more in this team, by the way. Like, well, don't kill him. Sacrifice a little bit of Sigewinne's buff in exchange for Sigewinne personal damage to make her more like, you know, 1/3 of Nubilet. I think that's probably better, right? I guess we can check that. Put Furina back on this. Where is here it is. Mostly it just took Nilu pieces. Alright. Back on DPS build. Is this a Sigewinne channel now? I mean, it's all thanks to Zloifet. It's Sigewinne week, that's for sure.
Strike a pose. Let my name echo in some odds reveal the content.
Whatever, burst out, whatever.
Wind and cloud.
Will shortly.
Wings of
Let's do
darkness.
that. Okay. Well, normally you would have your burst at the start of a rotation. I don't think that was with a Hydro Swirl. Alright, we're gonna redo this when we get a burst up.
By royal decree.
Hi.
Wind strike.
Now. Now. Alright.
Time for a pick.
Don't you do it. This is probably the last Sigewinne focus stream I'll do. Most likely. And I will probably use Sigewinne a meaningful degree in the future. But last in-depth focus of like getting into her detail. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do a fish.
Clouds high. The birds call.
I did not swirl Electro there, but whatever. Oh, hi.
Midnight phantasm.
Wind strike.
There we go.
Shower me with praise. Time to shine.
No, like this is a team context where like I think C1 will start to make a noticeable difference.
Yes, for life. By royal decree.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not noticing an insane difference between doing that versus doing Sackbow, right? Or versus doing the full supportive build. I might notice it slightly more with recurve bow when I get towards like 60k HP, right? Because that would be that'd be another additional 800 flat damage versus like the 55k I was running out there before, or I think it was 57k with Akla, right? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna commit to playing ZZZ right now. I'm not that interested in playing another gacha game at this exact moment in time.
Odds revealed.
Win strategy.
And Hoyoverse is not content. I mean, my like partner program pays me for making Genshin content, not for making other Hoyoverse content. So I have no like, I don't have any like external incentive to do it, other than like people in the community might be playing it. That's my only incentive to do it. But it might be just I try it for like a live stream kind of thing, similar to Wuthering Waves. But like Wuthering Waves, I don't think I'm gonna continue playing CZZ for this style of game. It is my guess. I don't think it'll hold me. But I almost am just not even in the mood to try it because it's a gacha game. It's gonna have all the gacha game BS. All right. I have not made a Woo YouTube channel now. Trying to think what to test. Oh, non-Furina teams. I haven't tested non-Furina teams yet. Yeah, okay. So, non-Furina teams, right? I think some of the most compelling options would be something like, when they keep in mind, Sigewinne's skill damage buff, right? Is only off-field party members, right? Off-field party members other than Sigewinne. So, this is a context wherein the buff will run out quickly, but I will on-field Yai a bit. But so some of Yai's hits might get some of the buff, but not a lot. So I'm gonna do like Yai EEE, Fischl E, Nahida EQ, then do Sigewinne EQ, I think, and then like switch to Yai and try to activate Yai burst. So this is a context in which I think I don't know, like I can still DPS her, right? I think in this team. Of course I could put her on a more supportive build, but anywho's, is the buff itself significant? Something that's just kind of there? It's doing a buff. Like additional damage is additional damage, right? And anytime, I don't know, anytime you have a character that can like keep your team alive and contribute some of her personal damage, like it's not insignificant. The only problem with this team is probably that she needs a lot more ER, like definitely more than that. So this is not a team where Sigewinne bursts consistently. So this is a team that I suspect will feel a lot better with C1, because even just like the little bit of additional Hydra application can make her feel better, in that like you can DPS her without like bursting every rotation. It can be like a bursting every other rotation thing, kind of like Yai is a burst every other rotation character. But anyways, like I do think Sigewinne's value is kind of really tied to yeah, I think Sigewinne's value is really tied to Furina, is my guess, but this team should probably still perform pretty well. And this is like probably the first time I've done Yai Quick Bloom. I mean, I've done Yai Quick Bloom, I guess, with Xingqiu, right? But this is a variation of Yai Quick Bloom that could easily work with like Kokomi, right? In the same vein, it works with Sigewinne, so it's not that special, other than, again, it's a team that does something with Sigewinne's skill damage buff. So I think it's probably better than with Kokomi, but also not necessarily that much better because of the less Hydra application, right? Since the Hydra application might be relevant here for like core generation or whatever. But yeah. So I'm just writing this down quick so I can test this again in case I forget.
You only get one body,
not here
so you
to
gotta
see.
take care of it.
Alright.
But it's just don't slip and fall.
Again, like the constellations in this case don't really matter because the goal here is to like look at some kind of vague baseline to see if we notice any meaningful increase from her C1 kind of thing, right? Is the buff itself, or no, I already read that, I'm dumb. Also, oh, there we go, just updated, okay.
The tea can wait.
The tea can't wait.
Right here.
By royal decree, sharing my knowledge. Wings of darkness.
Emerge. Right here. Right
Probably.
now. What
I got stuck on the frickin' thing! Okay. Probably should have bursted with Yai is what I was gonna say. And now Yai is gonna take literally 20 years to be able to get her burst back.
The Temple of
I'm
Wisdom.
gonna try to get her energy back.
Emerge. Right now. Right here. Emerge.
Really? I think this is a team where Sigewinne probably makes more sense on full buff build. There's less incentive here to spend time on Yai, or on Sigewinne, sorry. Right. Well,
The fun is over.
bro. By the way, that's a low base defense character experience for you. Fuck you, bro. Okay, but dude, how many times are you gonna ask about ZZZ? Stop. I've answered it like 3 times on this stream. The answer is maybe if I feel like it, but I don't really love gacha games, so. Sorry, didn't know. What do you mean you didn't know? I've been saying it multiple times. I just said it a little bit ago. Did I not? Did I imagine myself communicating that? Did I not just say that? Or is that someone else saying it? Is there different people asking about ZZZ every time? Every 3 minutes? Is that what's happening? I mean, I apologize. I just assumed it was the same person asking it because it was like 5 minutes ago. Do I regret Sigewinne? No, I think she's a good character. I think I undervalued her. Yai's burst, man. Okay, you know what? We're gonna go to the abyss to test this. Because do you think she should have been a 4-star? Not anymore. No. I think it. To be clear, I still kind of think her C1 should have been her base kit, but that's different from thinking she should be a 4-star. I don't like how variable her value of her buff is as far as like what you notice from it. But it always gives you something as long as you have some kind of off-field skill-based damage dealer, right? It's just like there's a lot of fun things that can be done with, you know, off-field skill-based damage dealers, and you know, you can't like really abuse it all that much, really. So I've been doing this with C1 since like Hu Tao. I mean, most of the time C1s are not very necessary to kits, and Sigewinne C1 is not necessary to her kit, to be clear, right? But I think it will make a noticeable difference, or maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll find out shortly here. No, we're not doing Furina. We're doing Sigewinne official. Yeah. Welcome, Stonebree. I apologize again for being a butthole about ZZZ. It's just like I thought the same person was asking it over and over. I'm just like, what does the C1 do? Increases her Hydra application, increases her healing, increases her buff. It like doubles the amount her buff does, essentially. Is the simple way to think about it. So
Emerge. Right now. Emerge.
Grow. Make yourself
should
a home.
not stand on this side actually.
You might feel a little sick.
Alright, well, Steve is not as good at dealing with this wave, that's for sure. This is a relatively single target team with Yai and Official.
As you wish.
Committed to memory. Content.
Yeah, so the idea would be, you know, get a little bit additional Dendro application, but mostly just like use some Yai on field action here.
Everyone's
Or
on mute.
additional Hydra applications to say.
What a nuisance.
You know.
I swear it's for medical research.
Nothing lasts
Things like
forever.
this.
Right here. Right now.
Midnight Venta.
This is not an ideal team, I'd say, for this chamber.
I see everything.
So this is not an impressive clear time for this chamber, is what I would say. Ow.
Midnight fantastic.
You stop!
I'm always watching.
What did that just target?
Right here.
Wait, what did that just target? Mahoya, you have questions. I have questions you need to answer.
No. The eternal wait.
I could optimize that down, right? But is there C1 ruin synergy with burn teams? No, it shouldn't. Because the actual like frequency of the Hydra application is not going to change. It's just going to... I think it's going to be like one extra instance of... In a single target situation, it'll be like one extra instance of Hydro. Her Hydra application increase from C1 is more relevant for AoE, which is not going to affect burn really significantly. How many games can you handle as a gamer and content creator? I don't know. Depends. For me, not that high of an amount because I'm doing things like a weekly book club with my friends. Like I have not read almost any of the first half of the first Mistborn book from Brandon Sanderson. That is our weekly reading for book club this week, and book club is tomorrow. I've been distracted by Genshin things, and I intend to stream tomorrow too. So I might be like, I failed to read this week. I'm sorry. But like, you know, if I have other things I'm doing, is my point with my time. It's hard to have a lot of extra time, especially for games like Gacha games, right? That want you to log in every day kind of thing. So, not that many games, basically. Kiwawa, yeah, we should test Kiwawa stuff, but let's, I think I'm good. Like that, this, I got enough of a vibe here. I still think she should be standard. Do you have her? Have you used her? Have you, like, yeah, like this team is one in which, I don't know, any non-Furina context really feels like to me she doesn't do that much special. It's kind of the vibe. So, oh, you know what? Okay, before I activate her C1, sorry, I do want to test the Furina Bennett Dia variation again. I want to try to get an actual recording of that with her at C0.
I won't hold you back.
All right, this team. Wait, is she still on a DPS build? I forgot. Yes. Yes, she is, I think. Yep, okay. Oh, she might need a little bit more ER, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Furina constellations are better. If you're talking Furina constellations are better than C0 Sigewinne, not necessarily. It really depends on your account situation, I would say. Like I told the dude I did the account fixing video on, I was like, you know, I don't know if you're gonna continue wishing at all on Furina's or Sigewinne's banner, because they have like C6 or they have C4 Gaming. Like if they want to play Gaming a lot, C6 Gaming would be potentially worth wishing additionally for. I told Cerberus, like, hey, you should probably, because you don't have a ton of healer options in your account, you could probably gain more value from Sigewinne than you would from Furina constellations, right? I don't like vape teams. Their reactions. I don't know what to tell you. Do you like other crit-based DPSing things? I don't. You can like whatever you want in the game. I like doing anything with the reaction system in the game because that's the main thing that makes thinking about team building interesting. I'd say for me, is the reaction. So, you know, the main teams I tend to not like are like mono teams. Really, I think those tend to be the most boring teams. But yeah, I'm not saying vape teams are my favorite, but I don't have any particular dislike for them. They're like the most generic template though for, but like the team I did with Sigewinne with Nahida and a Bennett here is still a vape team. It's just a vape team in a very different form, and it's doing a lot more total amounts of reactions, right? And the flow of how it plays is a bit different. So, you know. I probably should have saved the second via E. Yep, that's why. That's why. There we go. Nice. Oh, I didn't record. Dang it. I meant to be recording this clip. Whoops. Okay, let me restart. Sigewinne can substitute C6 Furina. Actually, that's kind of an interesting point. Yes. Like, Sigewinne can kind of substitute C6 Furina in that sense of, like, you know, getting to C6 Furina enables you to have a Furina that is, like, your team-wide healer and has a lot less energy needs. So does the Sigewinne Furina core. The difference is, like, C6 Furina lets you have an additional slot. Like, obviously, C6 Furina is stronger than doing C0 Furina, C0 Sigewinne, right? Not saying it isn't, but like, C2 Furina, C0 Sigewinne, I don't know. I think it's a lot more interesting to do something like that and whatnot, but 50k HP Furina, indeed. I am purposely trying to abuse Key of Conscience Suit because I think it's fun. Alright, let's actually record this in case I need to send it to Zajef. He said he wasn't gonna... when I messaged him... I just derped. When I messaged him, he said he didn't think he was going to test Sigewinne at all. So, can I... With this clip, I might be able to take Zajef from not testing Sigewinne at all to maybe wanting her. Because I know he likes the... Alright, okay. I'm gonna redo that there because I think I just got unlucky with some crits. You know what I should do? I should probably position myself a little bit over here. Or not. Apparently I missed some amount of hits, or I got that unlucky with that dude. Okay. Standing in the middle it is. Does that mean he won't be doing Sigewinne post-release? Probably yes. Based on his message from him, like, that I got from him at least. I think he's just more interested in doing, like, Weathering Waves things, which is fine. He's more interested in doing, like, Weathering Waves things with the Weathering Waves update, as well as the Imaginarium Theater releasing tomorrow, right? So he just, like, he's not that interested in Sigewinne. He was just kind of a generic healer, but, you know. I don't think it actually makes much difference if I double E there or not. Why? I just didn't hit you a bunch? Okay. I wanna try to, like, cleanly. I wanna get a clip of cleanly killing those, right? I know I'm, like, trying to. This is just how optimization do, right? But, like, yeah. Ugh. What? I swear Okay, no, I think I gotta stay in the middle. I don't think going to the side is helping at all. Zajef hates healers and 5-star weapons. I mean, he hates anything that's not Xingqiu, as far as Hydro. Like, he has a hardcore bias against any Hydra that's not Xingqiu. Like, the dude has a Xingqiu body pillow in every room of his house, I swear. So, you know, like, to be clear, it's perfectly fine to like defensive utility, but like, it affects his perception of Hydro characters. Yeah, I think Natlan should be interesting. Particularly if they continue to add new endgame combat, and I really look forward to it, but we'll see. If it's just exploration, I'm sure it'll be fun, and exploration story, I'll still enjoy it, but yeah. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Good enough, I say. I didn't Dia. Yeah, I see that was good, and then I forgot to Dia E there, and then that made it when I switched to Dia. I didn't even have her burst back because like I didn't do a proper rotation. Frick, brain. Whatever. I don't know if it actually matters when I Sigewinne. Actually, it does matter as far as getting Sigewinne's burst back. So, whoops. God, I'm being so Brad. I'm being so Brad right now. Bad brain. Apparently, this is not a day for testing things properly for me because my brain does not wish to function. There we go. Okay. Oh, frick. Well. Mistimed this a little bit, but it's fine.
Don't be nervous. Just relax.
Everybody stand back. You asked for it.
Okay. They weren't grouped ideally. Man, can I get like grouping those is just a matter of their stupid slight RNG, and like it's not just RNG, it's also based on your positioning a little bit, but like there's a lot of slight variance in those stupid dudes' movement when how they like walk away from you and then you end up not being able to kill them in a rotation like that. Good lord. Yeah, I'll show the Dia build after. My brain just was like, what do I do next? I don't know. I'm apparently tired or something. I swear I got like a decent amount of sleep. I think I got like 7 hours of sleep, but maybe not. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Can I switch my characters? Wuthering Waste with switching characters feels so much better to play than Genshin sometimes because of that. Okay, well, you are... Why are you alive, sir? I really wish Dia did AoE damage instead of her coordinated attack damage. Like, her AoE on her skill makes it look like the circle on her skill makes it look like, oh, it's doing a pulse of pyro around it, right? No, it's doing a coordinated attack within the range of the circle. It's stupid. Whatever. I like Dia. I really do. I think she has an interesting kit, but also so many annoyingly specific decisions with Dia that it's just like, why? Why did you specifically decide this? It's because it's just standard banner, right? There we go. Didn't feel like garbage to switch my characters for. It's a crazy idea, that. Alright, good. He didn't do the annoying hit. Like the annoying one attack. The rocket shooting. Alright. We're a little bit far away from the buttholes, but, you know, this should kill it. Yep. Okay, Furina with the 150k trying to steal the limelight from my Dia. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my god. Oh my. What's wrong with my brain? I don't know. Okay, well, no, I refuse to end it with this. Man, why didn't I just record it when I did this earlier? Literally, when I did this at the start of the stream, I got like a 1 minute clear, like right away. But I need one good clip. I'm doing this not stupid. Let's see one Dia. You have too much health, but well, it's fine. It's fine. As long as I don't run out of Furina's buff. I ran out of Furina's buff. Well, okay. That was bad, but whatever. Where's the other one? Oh, he's right here. Okay. Okay, I think, yeah, okay, well, yeah, the Furina vape there, it's fine. That's gonna happen sometimes. I don't know why I did that. Did I not skill on Sigewinne? I should have had my burst back, didn't I? No, I don't like this one. This is not good either. It wasn't bad, but it was not the... Also, I didn't even kill it there. This was not the 1 minute clear I wanted. I had 1 minute before. Why? I just can't. I'm failing to replicate. Like, I'm not having a stroke, right? I'm pretty sure I did this team. I tested this team multiple times. I was doing the same thing I'm doing now, but at the start of the stream. And I got multiple near 1 minute clears, like, back to back, and now I'm just failing. I think that C1 HP stance is better than attack stance for personal damage. I'm using ER. I swear to you, I pressed the switchy button. Actually, you know what? Wait. You know what? In that vein, you know, screw it. Test this. Do this. I swear to you, I pressed Bennett. I was like, okay, what happens if we try to just like get through the first way with Dia and then do Sigewinne on the Ruin Guard? I don't think Sigewinne can get through the Ruin Guard on her own, so I don't think it makes sense. So never mind. There's a dog barking outside. Bye, please. Bye, please. Stupid. Should be able to get through that faster, and I'm just failing. Really? I'm just... I think I like the Nahida variation more. It feels more consistent to me. Or I'm just being that bad. One of the two. I don't know. Right? Oh boy. I don't know what I was doing there, but it's fine. Ow. Ow. Okay, it wasn't perfect, but that was probably the best. Alright, it's good enough. It works. Alright, chat. Anything else? Any other ideas? Skill deft yourself by yourself. Skill deft by yourself 2 hours ago was crazy. Yeah, indeed. All right. Speaking of, oh yeah, it only streamed for about 3 hours. So, any other quick suggestions? Well, okay. Charge attack Sigewinne. Quick suggestions before I activate C1 for things that are relevant to C1. Because I basically want to go test. This team, right? I want to test the Furina official Nahida Sigewinne team with like a HP, like a more supportive oriented build. And and then test the Electro Charge team, as well as test the non-Furina teams with C1 activated. Sigewinne C1. You mean like plunge Sigewinne? She's doing physical damage. It's gonna be garbage. Bows are really terrible for plunge. They're really butt. Like, to be clear, if you want to do physical bow memes, don't let me stop you. Like, you will be able to probably clear some content. I don't think this Abyss is one that'll make sense in, but, you know. Freeze Sigewinne? I don't know if I really care. Does that make sense? But yeah, I mean, you could do Furina Sigewinne cryo units, right? I don't know. Furina Sigewinne freeze Ganyu or something. I could do that technically, but it would be fine. I don't think there's anything I need to test regarding her C1 though. Like I'm glad to do more Sigewinne stuff in the future, but I have limited time here, guys. So I'm talking specifically stuff. Solo cryo, yeah. Sigewinne's elemental skill damage affects Wanderer's E. No, it does not. Wanderer does not do any skill-based damage in the first place, from what I recall. So it's literally impossible to baseline, but also it does not. Her buff only affects off-field skill damage. So like Nuvilette's skill does not get a buff from Sigewinne when he activates it because it only deals damage when Nuvilette's on-field, right? So it's specifically characters that deal skill damage from off-field. So technically Arlecchino, from her one instance of like when her thing ticks up after 5 seconds, would get a buff from it, but not really relevant. Chiori is more relevant, right? So the notable ones would be Chiori, Furina, obviously, Charlotte, technically, interestingly enough. So I don't know, as far as free shenanigans, you know, I'll jot that down actually. I'm not gonna test that, I don't think, right now, but Sigewinne, Charlotte things. Like when Shenhe reruns, I am absolutely down to do Charlotte DPS with Shenhe. Do Shenhe, Sigewinne, Furina, Charlotte. I will probably try that. Jot that down as a note. Because she does do some skill-based damage off-field. But anyways. Oh yeah, Dia build. I mean, the Dia does do off-field skill-based damage. Baiju technically, but like only for memes, right? I mean, okay, Charlotte is the same thing, only for memes, right? Dia, unironically, since there's more reasons to do carry playstyle, like a Vorakausha's build Dia would gain meaningfully more value from Sigewinne's buff for Dia's damage. It's just Vorakausha's is awful. like I do not. I have a top 1% Dia build on Vorakausha's, but I have to use Skyward for it, and it wouldn't work in this team, like the teams I've been using, because I don't think she would have enough ER. Like she only has like 160 ER or something. It just wouldn't be enough. Like it's a Vorakausha's build that works in Mono Pyro Dia, which is awful. And like I want to play Vape Dia here, so it's like yeah. So Emblem it is, right? And yes, Yai E is buff from it. Farazan, actually didn't think about that. That's kind of interesting, right? Doing Farazan, Sigewinne, Chao things, right? Like I don't know. Because Farazan with her C6, right? This triggers her skill. It's why like you can do like a Golden Troop build on her. So you could do like a Golden Troop off-field Farazan that's getting meaningful damage from her buffed. But yeah, Farazan C6 specifically, yes. Yael has off-field skill damage, but again, that would be memes. Same thing as Baiju Charlotte. Nahida does meaningful off-field skill-based damage. You technically do as well, but her, I don't know, it's... Look, if you want to see some larger numbers, the fact that it has a tiny multiplier means you will see a very relative... You will, like, almost all the damage with Sigewinne buff and her would be from Sigewinne's buff. So if you want to, you can. It would let you see a bigger number from your. But again, that would be for meme things, just for funsies, not like an actual compelling use case. Just for the funsies. Do you technically do off-field skill damage? I don't know if your skill actually does damage off-field. I don't think it does. I think it only does damage on-field, but it has like the line and Electra application off field. Kale, I think technically can do off field skill damage if you swap. I don't remember if you swap out of her before her boomerang. Like, because her boomerang, you send it flying out. I think you can technically swap out before it comes back, or maybe it makes the boomerang disappear. I don't know. But again, Kale is not great. But if you want to, you do a skill damage Kale. Maybe. I don't know. I could test it, but it's not compelling enough to be worthwhile. Yeah, as far as the notable ones, it's Yai, Fischl, Nahida. Chiori is probably actually relatively notable, because you could do, like doing Chiori, Navia, Furina, Sigewinne is probably relatively compelling. Yeah. So, like, other than memes, it's like Furina, Nahida, Yai, Fischl, Farzan C6 could have some interesting things as far as meaningful off-field skill-based damage dealers. Then there is interesting potential in the context of, like, Raiden and Kuki, in that normally they don't get meaningful damage when they're, like, triggering aggravates or whatever, but again, it is, like, kind of meme territory, but, like, unironically for me, when I have my hybrid Raiden build, it's possible Sigewinne will take my hybrid Raiden from getting like random 20k aggravates off field to getting 30, 40k aggravates off field in some cases, right? And that's pretty big damage in so, you know, potentially actually relevant, but again, a relatively high investment niche thing. I mean, technically Albedo and Zhongli, I guess, but, you know, I mean, hey, microwave Zhongli shenanigans, I don't know, man. You could do it. It'd be fun. That would be a kind of fun, unironically, like doing microwave shenanigans to take advantage of her skill buff. What would that even be? Like Geo Traveler. Well, I think Geo Traveler, Zhongli, Furina, Sigewinne microwave. Aggravate doesn't scale their buff. Yes, it does. Flat damage buff, like aggravate functions like the same way, where it adds like a flat bonus based on your level in EM. Sigewinne's buff is another flat bonus on top of that. It does.
Osmanthus wine tastes this.
Sigewinne's buff doesn't specifically want aggravate to happen. Sigewinne's buff, it just needs off-field skill-based damage to happen. So it's just an even more flat damage bonus that works well. Would you tell me if you would you believe me if I tell you I got her bow and C1 Sigewinne from a single max top up? Zlifa, you have a problem, but that is pretty lucky. Did you miss a lot? I mean, we tested a bunch of stuff with C0 Sigewinne. And my conclusion is basically the same right now. C0 Sigewinne feels pretty tied to Furina, but that is still a very compelling use case. Like I think it makes her a lot more compelling than Kokomi for a lot of players potentially. The context where Kokomi is still better is the context where the Hydra application matters, to be clear. But when you're doing the Furina and Sigewinne core, Sigewinne having good Hydra application is less relevant because Furina is still doing Hydra application, right? So anyway, as far as off-field skill damage goes, I think that's basically it, yeah. Official Xiangling Guoba. Yeah, I think it's basically Fischl, Yai, Nahida, Furina, of course, is the most compelling ones. Chiori is interesting. Zhongli is there's some interesting Geo stuff you can actually do. If I had Zhongli, I would definitely test it. Yeah. And there's other like niche meme or meme territory things, but I really like flat damage buffs though, like Sigewinne's buff, like Yunjin's buff, like Cloud Retainers, like Shenhe's buff, for the purpose of doing meme things. Like they're one of those things that can quickly enable you to see like meaningful damage, right? Like Shenhe can make you see meaningful damage with the cryo buffing from it, which is a flat buff, kind of like how Sigewinne's buff is a flat buff. Even if you don't have good multipliers that would normally the traditional way of seeing big damage numbers on your characters is big multipliers, right? She does not have big multipliers, but she does have a number of instances of hits of different cryo and cryo application that can have flat damage buffs applied to them, and then, oh, you can still see 20, 30k, maybe 40k, 50k if you end up triggering some melts or whatever, right? So I do think I will get a lot of value actually out of doing some more meme niche things with Sigewinne's buff in the future, especially with C1, which is kind of why I was okay and was interested in getting it. So yeah, nuke Baron Bunny. Well, no, the thing is, nuke Baron Bunny, the main thing people normally do for nuke Baron Bunny, right? You don't let it pop off field. So I don't know, for like a C0 Amber, where's Amber? For a C0 Amber, right? Yeah, maybe. But most of the time when people are doing like nuke Baron Bunny things, they're doing it with C2. And when you shoot at it, and if you're shooting at it, you're triggering it on field, right? So, you know. Decide a weapon banner to decide for if you go for siege or not, and that was the outcome. Nice, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want a DPS Sigewinne, your weapon shouldn't be bad, to be clear. Like, again, I started the stream with saying, like, Mihoyo's design intention was for this character to, you know, have some potential significant damage output. I think their intention was for you to build her for damage, but also just have the ability to just make her a really simple, brainless, good healer option for Furina, right? Like, at a baseline, she's a very easy to build, brainless healer option for healer where you press E on her and switch off. Like, that is valuable in many contexts, like, but then she has room for growth in being able to do, you know, DPS builds on her. And that's one thing her bow can also enable, right? Her bow can make notably her bow can probably make non-martial say builds a lot more doable, while also still reaching very significant buffing potential, right? But yeah, I don't know, right? Like again, as I said in the beginning of the stream, like, her burst, the closest comparison as far as like what her burst does is it's a Nuvilette charge attack. Nuvilette gets 3 charge attacks in a rotation. So if you're doing a DPS build on Sigewinne, and especially one like I'm doing, where I'm still taking advantage out of her being the buffer, right? I can get a Nuvilette charge attack damage, like a Nuvilette charge attack damage out. Yes, that's 1/3 of Nuvilette's damage. Obviously, she's not as good as damage output as Nuvilette, but she also takes 1/3 the time. 1/3 the damage for 1/3 the time means you can do other things with the time in the team, and that enables you to do really fun teams around her. I like this character. I think they designed her well with the balance of like allowing you to go into damage, but also just her being like usable at a baseline. Her main downside is being basically tied to Furina. Golden Troop on Raiden. I mean, you could do it for the funnies. Right, you could do Golden Troop with EM with a whole bunch of crit. Like, instead of doing 4-piece Gilded Dreams for your Hyperlimb Raiden, do 4-piece Golden Troop. And then, you know, just laugh when you occasionally get 15, 20k aggravates off field. Is not better, but it's funny. So yeah, the scaling is not that high. So the Golden Troop passive is only going to be relevant when she triggers aggravates, basically. So, any reason to pull C2 Siege if you pulled C1? I mean, yeah, C2 Sigewinne makes her Hydro buffing even stronger, like significantly stronger. This is 100% uptime, 35% Hydro res shred, right? Like that's VV. Right? That's basically VV, but with 100% uptime. No, well, yeah, no, it should be 100% uptime because C1 increases her amount of times her bubbles bounce. So like, yeah, it's pretty dang strong. It's a strong constellation. Is it better than like going for Furina constellations? Probably not, right? But like if you already had it, maybe, I don't know. Like, and C2 was kind of what is required also if you want her to be actually relevant to use with Nuvilette. Like if you want to do the Sac Bow stuff with her generating orbs for Nuvilette, right? You could do Nuvilette with C2 Sigewinne, because you normally wouldn't want to do Nuvilette with Sigewinne unless you have C2, because Nuvilette has an anti-synergy with multiple Hydro units, unless those Hydro units are buffing him more than the damage he loses from what he would gain from having a different element unit, the passive. I think it's more uninteresting to do double hydro things with Nubia. I think he's a much more fun character to play when thinking about having rainbow teams, right? But, anyways. Holy, her weapon is broken, 28% is crazy, and 106% HP. Yeah, the only issue with it is, like, right, like, if you're doing something like I'm doing with the Marshall Says build, what does 28% crit rate do for me on this build? I mean, actually, it wouldn't be bad, but I would lose a whack ton. I don't know. It would probably be basically the same as Aqua in my existing build because I'm using Marshall Says. So it's obviously not bad. And more notably is that it would enable non-Marshall Say builds to be more competent, right? But yeah, her weapon is literally like what I'm doing, but easier, right? That's basically what her weapon is. Anyways. Yeah, I think I've rambled for like 10 minutes now. Let's, oh yeah, the Dia build, sorry. There you go. Emblem Dia, 80, a good, like almost like perfectly balanced ratio. 81, 60, 207. Alright. 4-piece emblem. So I thought Golden Troop would be good for his outfield sub-DPS. I mean, not really. It's not something you want to specifically spec into, but like Hybrid Raiden, like on a normal emblem build, when she has a bunch of EM and she triggers aggravates off field, you know, and has whatever buffs going from the likes of Furina, blah 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 blah. Hybrid Raiden can absolutely get some pretty big damage from her skill off field, like especially when it's proccing once. It can proc aggravate once every other hit, right? I think. No, wait, it hits. Is it once every other hit? It hits once per second, so. Yeah, it's every other hit, because it would be. No. No, it's. Oh, shoot, it's every 3 hits. Yeah. Sorry, it's every 3 hits, I think. It would proc aggravate, but if every 3 hits it's procking aggravate and hitting 20k aggravates, right? That can be like over 100,000 damage over, 10 seconds. Or no. More like 15 seconds. Right. 100,000 damage from her skill in a rotation is potentially significant, but it's not something you specifically spec into. It's just something that is one of the reasons like Hybrid Raiden kind of feels as good as it is because it actually does increase her skill damage, not insignificantly. But it's not something you spec her build into, right? Because it's not a relative. The relative contribution of her skill is not that high compared to her other damage sources. If you would spec into skill damage with the set bonus, you're sacrificing too much of that you could gain from other sets. Anywho's, okay, let's go. Let's activate. I think we're good, right? Yeah, let's just activate. Lamb. All right. No going back. I wish you could, but no going back. First, we're going to go commit suicide. And it'll make sense in a second. Do you know C4 Furina energy and also counts if you overheal with her summons? The writing is confusing. I mean, yeah, I think that's just to make sure it always is giving, like, what? 12 energy per rotation, probably. Right. This is not a high enough cliff to die. I guess we'll go over here. Bear with me for a second. Wait, I need it. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Alright. What? No. There we go. Okay.
So cold.
Rip child. No. Well, the reason I did that is her skill says it heals after 5 bounces, right? After bouncing 5 times, the bolstering bubble will disappear and restore HP to Sigewinne based on her max HP value. So she heals 50% of her HP after the final bounce. Her C1 makes it so it bounces more. So I'm not sure if her C1 makes it so that her 50% heal is delayed. That's kind of bad, honestly, in some contexts, if it does. So that is actually a meaningful downside to C1. Notably because again, like she's so like strong with the Furina synergy. It's the main compelling reason to like get her and use her is Furina Sigewinne combo. Furina likes front loaded, like the more healing you can have quicker, like after you use Furina's burst, the better usually. So, you know, like not having that 50% healing after the 5th bounce is unfortunate. So the question is, with C1, does it still happen after the 5th bounce, or didn't mean to press that, or does it happen after the 8th bounce, right? So I don't know. We'll find out, right? We're just gonna count the. Hopefully, it doesn't fly up in the air, like it did in Mondstadt. I'm gonna wait for Freena's burst to go away so we can have light. There we go. Okay. 1. It should bounce 8 times. 2. 3. 4. 5. Heal. Oh no. 3, 6, 7, 8. Why would you do that, Hoyo? So C1 is actually a slight nerf for Furina in that sense. Like it's still a net gain, to be clear. Yeah, it was a huge heal. It's because she team-wide heals like the other teammates, and then she heals herself after it's done bouncing. But like that's worse. That means it takes like, right? It takes 9 seconds for her heal to go off at C0. Right, I would have her heal there. It takes an additional 5 seconds. It takes an additional 5 seconds with C1 to get her heal. Like it's basically an end of rotation heal now. Oh, that like it doesn't actually affect me because of C2, right? Like all it does is it slightly delays Furina getting more HP. So it's kind of whatever with Furina C2. But with a non-Furina C2, that might actually affect how quickly you can get fanfare. To a point like by the time that heal happens, like you're getting potentially nothing from it because like you're done doing your DPSing on your other units, right? So that's dumb. But the net gain, you still have a net gain though, to be clear, because you get more total healing for the rest of the team, notably, which could be important, especially with someone like Furina who has pretty high HP, especially with the Key of Caution the suit build like I have going, and yeah, so she has pretty high HP, and like so more healing is good. A little bit more Hydro application, notably in AoE, could be pretty good. And then of course the higher buff, like it more than makes up for that minor downside. The damage increase you gain with Furina is more than the downside, but it also would not surprise me if like that delay in the heal causes me to die more often with Sigewinne, because like in my limited testing with her so far, I have had instances where I was like, oh crap, I took a bunch of damage, she went down to like 10% health, but then very shortly after that I got the heal, right? So it wasn't actually that risky. But now like that additional 5-second delay in her heal might be the difference between dying on her or not. So that's really funny. It's a really weird thing that like this I feel like it was just an oversight, because it just makes the character almost a bit more clunky in some contexts. But yeah, and they generally speaking avoid doing that kind of change with a constellation, I feel like. Change to a character's functionality, but it's not significant. It's still very much a net gain. Anywho's, just get C6 Furina. Yeah. Solves all my problems. Literally makes Furina super uninteresting. Wow. All upside, no downside. How interesting mechanically. Like, if I ever got C6 Furina, there is one correct build for C6 Furina, and anyone using C6 Furina without this build is griefing. This is the only correct C6 Furina build. So if I ever get C6 Furina, this is the build I use. Well, sorry. This is the build I use. This is the one true C6 Furina build. Just saying. I'm not joking. If I ever got it, this is what I would do. There it is. Blam. Alright. So, first on the list, we will test the Alhaitham variation, because... Now I gotta equip things again. We will test the Alhaitham variation, because I think that's the most fun one. But also I'm interested to see how much difference it makes, right? We have 2 off-field skill damage dealers. Or no, sorry, we have 3 off-field skill damage dealers. Alhaitham, ideally, we actually don't want using the skill buff most of the time. Oh, frick, what circle did you have? I think it was this? Yeah. We don't want Alhaitham using that much of the skill damage buff, but anyway, his point is, like, doubling the relevance of our skill damage buff could be a pretty significant increase in this team. So, Sigewinne. We're mostly just going to test the first chamber. Probably not going to have time to test Kirara, I'm sorry. I intended to test Kirara. Maybe I'll do it at the very end of the stream. Alright. Okay.
Dead mate.
Really? I'm redoing that. It's rare that I don't kill that in the one rotation there. Was that? Did I do that before? I should have done that after I de-skilled though. It's 12 AM here. It'll be ending soon. Hopefully you'll be able to get to bed on time. She's not that much crazier compared to C2. Like, yeah, C2 would be a more notable increase for most teams you have Sigewinne in, I think. Unless you're in your solo Hydro healer, then it's not that relevant. Unless you're DPSing her again, but...
I see everything. Sharing my knowledge. Hold still. I swear it's for medical research.
Gloves off.
There we go.
Time to shine.
Another dude not run away from me? I hate these enemies, man. Ugh.
Full of wisdom.
Okay, he's here.
You might feel a little sick.
You're dead mate.
Okay, good. Did that rotation a little bit better. Can you go over here, please?
Where do you think you're going?
Don't be nervous. Just relax.
You asked for it. The eternal away.
I mean, considering I have gotten faster clears without Sigewinne C1, Sigewinne C1 does not seem to make that much difference this team. And that's probably an effect of Alhaitham eating too much of the skill buff and not getting much value from it, is my guess. I also I think I had a slightly better card last time. I don't remember what it was. But ER is still pretty good here, so I don't know. I'm sure I could optimize this down to be better than... Whoop. Better than when I was using C0 Sigewinne. But like... Not... It's not insanely better, is the point. Okay, thank you.
Temple of Wisdom.
Let's get it on.
Let's see.
Why are you apart from each other?
It's for medical research.
Why? What? Bro, you see where it ran to? It ran all the way across the map. That's the main thing. Oh, shit. Did that wrong again, whatever. This is the main thing causing so much variance in like how long it takes to clear this, by the way.
You asked for it.
How's your birthday and your best friend's Stop talking to you. Well, hopefully they don't think this is rude, but I think that means they weren't actually your best friend.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Because friendships are a two-way relationship.
For medical research.
And it sucks. I'm sorry about that, but like, also that was fast. Okay. That was the fastest I ever got through that wave, by the way. Like, I've never gotten through that wave before, before Dia bursting at all. And I probably even shouldn't have Dia burst there. Okay. There you go. That was a clear where I noticed the difference. I'm pretty sure it made a difference there. Yes, happy birthday. Hopefully your birthday is good tomorrow. Really? No, that was not ideal. Yep. We ran out of Furina's buff too. Whoops. Next Sumeru Grand Sage. Sure. No. That cleared faster than your Raiden National Alhaitham Quick Limb? Yeah. Yeah. To be clear, Furina C2 is doing some work here, right? This is a team configured to make Furina do a lot of damage. I would love to test it without Furina C2, but I cannot. I don't know. It's the first time in quite a while that I've spec'd Furina herself into damage meaningfully, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Right? Like, Sigewinne is the first character that has made me enjoy speccing Furina into damage versus playing solo Hydra Furina. So, you know. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Where do you think you're going?
I gotta do this. Alright. Alright, well, that wasn't very good. It's definitely reducing the time a bit. Like, I think that would have been like a 5-second longer clear. Maybe. Like, I don't know. It's not that significant. It's pretty variable. I think what we noticed in that one that felt a lot faster, despite it not being played perfectly, was we had more instances of Furina getting vapes. Right. Just join the Discord. Discord is very fun. Thanks. Try to keep it being a pretty chill place. No, I hated too much Dendro. Potentially. It's part of the reason I am interested in playing for Emily in this team. I'm very curious what less Dendro will do for the team, but Baiju was too little Dendro. Don't interrupt me, sir. Could have avoided that by starting with Dia's skill potentially, but... Like, see, this is another instance where I can probably just start the rotation here, right?
Let's get it off. Where do you think you're going? No. You asked for it. Goodbye. But we'll meet again.
Interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, not that noticeable of an increase, is what I would say. In this team. C2 though? C2 would absolutely. I don't know what I did. What am I doing? Brain, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with my brain? I swear to you, I pressed 2 before I pressed Q. Okay? Okay? What? How did you only tag the one? Okay, whatever. We should switch to a different team before I need to end the stream. I need to, like, I have plans with my friends. I just could. Good.
You asked for it.
Quite ideal. We missed some crits there, but it's fine.
Time to shine. Buckle up. Make yourselves at home. Calm down. I swear it's for medical research.
Didn't hit this dude a little bit or whatever.
Dead meat. Target practice. Stretch your wings and raise a storm.
Let my name echo in song.
Where do you think you're going?
He might feel a little prick.
No.
Just testing to see what the difference was if I just targeted the bird. I think targeting the bird is better as far as efficiency goes. But yeah, I don't know. I'm getting 1 minute clears, 1 minute-ish clears more consistently than I was before, I would say. And I think the card for this blessing is not as good as it was for the one like then when I recorded yesterday. I can't remember what it was. I think it was just like the sprinting damage or something. A damage increase more than the ER was. But yeah, you get the point. So yeah, C1 like makes a slight difference in this team, but not very significantly. Can I get catalysts in Crimson Wish? What does that mean? What does that mean? Sigewinne C2 in a team where C2 for his Vavian would actually be bonkers, indeed. Like yeah, I'm tempted. Like I'm tempted to just like, you know, but like it would be unnecessarily strong, but also really fun. Cause it's gonna be a bit bonkers. But the reason I don't want to get it is because it would make me not want to use Sigewinne and Furina together in future videos because it would be too strong. Like having C2 Furina in conjunction with C2 Sigewinne would be too strong of a combo. Like that's why. So I don't want to. Even if I got an early at 0-1 pity or whatever, it's like, hey, it's free, no brainer, right? Except I want to have the way I use my characters be somewhat approachable in some form, right? That's why like I don't want C3 Furina. Like at least C2 Furina. Like my C2 Furina, I can confidently say, hey, I got C2 Furina without spending a single Prima Gem. Was it worth it? Not necessarily, but maybe it is. It kind of was for me. I really enjoy it. But like, it's representative of you can just, did I say spending a single Prima Gem? Spending a single dollar. I did say I spend a lot of single Prima Gems to get it. So anyways, yeah, like C1 in this team, not that relevant, which is not that surprising because so much of the damage is coming from just Furina vaping in general. But I think there were definite instances there wherein it was improving the consistencies meaningfully. So, do I think Emily will be fun? Yeah, I look forward to Emily a lot. I think she'll be really fun. So, happy birthday to whoever said, I don't know, whatever. Is it another person's birthday? I don't know. You're going to lose my mind. It's been 2 hours and you haven't seen a single crit from Lisa on a nuke. Rip. Sorry, Sylveon. Alright. So, more notably though, let's test out here, before we change off of a DPS build. We'll do Furina, Sigewinne, Raiden, Kazuha. Is it really worth it for normal peeps to spend on a gacha game? No, like my point was like, I was able to do this. I was able to get C2 Furina without spending, right? So like, it is actually possible to do high investment and get constellations and not spend $1 million in the game, right? That's my point. You just have to like know what you want and like have the ability to save for it. It's not something I necessarily recommend doing, but you can do it. Like C2 is in the realm of approachability for anyone if they want to like seek it out, right? Whereas the conjunction of C2
Into something?
Furina and C2 Nahida and C2 Sigewinne or something, right? Like that's a conjunction of things like no, it's too much for it to be like realistically approachable. And like C1 Sigewinne does not make such a big difference that's like, oh my god, I don't want to ever use Sigewinne and Furina together because it's going to be too strong. But like C2 Sigewinne plus C2 Furina, it's going to be too strong. I don't want it because it would just be not very approachable for anyone. So, yeah. Kind of feels bad after some time putting money in. Yeah, and honestly, the higher investment you go, the more satisfying it is to spend less money and still get very good results out of things, doing things like DPSing your healers. So, of course, money was spent for Sigewinne, but it wasn't my money.
One with wind and cloud.
You know what? I should do that slightly differently, because I can kill that wave without doing Sigewinne burst, so I should start with Furina, right? Do you, and then do you, and then do you.
Adorn my nights.
And then, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Illusion shattered.
Don't be nervous. Just relax. Strike a pose. Time to shine.
There is no escape. Wind strike. As one with wind and cloud.
Oh, I don't have my burst back? Okay.
You might feel a little bit.
Redo that. That was scuffed. That was scuffed. Is Furina a character that would help any account, no matter the characters in the account? Not really. Furina's utility is pretty dependent on healers. Like the equation of how relevant Furina is an equation of Furina plus healers. There's enough healers in the game that the answer is probably yes, she's a very valuable character for most accounts.
Clouds high. Birds call. Wind strike.
Don't be nervous. Just relax. Calm down. Let lightning echo and shower me with
Illusion shattered. Fallen leaves. Adorn my nights. Inazuma
Oh,
shines
that's
eternal.
forgot. I was supposed to ride and burst. That's why I didn't have Sigewinne burst back. Because I hadn't done the ride and burst yet. Duh.
There is no escape. Right to the eternal oasis. What do you think? Flowers and Guraban.
medical research.
The eternal oasis at long last.
Okay, that way would be dead already if I
Torn to oblivion.
had hit the bird. You escaping Furina? I didn't say you had to pull Furina. By no means is Furina a necessary pull. No character in this game is a necessary pull, especially the higher investment you go. I believe I could clear most content in this game if I had never pulled for Furina. Like, I don't think I would really be struggling that much. And that's like an important thing to keep in mind, right? There's a lot of characters in this game, a lot of options to deal with whatever situation they throw at you. But Furina is like kind of the best character in the game for me, for how I like playing the game, because she enables so many different teams to be better. And notably other characters, right? Did I press E? I don't think I did press E. Whoops. Ow.
As one with wind and cloud.
Die, please. Alright, good.
Don't slip and fall. Don't be nervous. Just relax. Shower me with praise. Let the world go.
There is no escape. Clouds high. Birds Inazuma shines eternal.
Hitting one of them. Oh well.
Calm down. I swear, it's for medical
I
reasons.
bet you I can clear with this team in like 50 seconds. Which would be close to matching what I can clear with this team with Arlecchino, Candace, Bennett, Kazuha. To be clear, this team is more invested than Arlecchino, Bennett, Kazuha is. Arlecchino, Bennett, Candace, Kazuha. But that team is also exceedingly good at adapting to this chamber.
Time to shine. Yoo-hoo!
Shine down. Wind strike. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
I don't think I actually swirled Hydro. Nope, didn't swirl Hydro. Rip. Rip. Gotta play the game properly to success. I'm testing this team a bunch again because this is one of my favorite ways I've been enjoying playing her, so, you know, sue me.
The birds call.
Get Hydro, Hydro. Thank you, Furina.
Don't be nervous. Just relax. Let the world fly.
There is no escape. As one with wind and cloud.
Let's see.
Now you shall perish.
How much is Raiden the skill hitting for, by the way?
Target
I really have no idea.
Raise a star.
Oop, whoop.
Oasis, echoing song. Shower me with praise.
Where do you think you're going?
I didn't press E.
For medical reasons.
No.
Man. Keep on scuffing the last bit. Scuffing the last bit. Yes, I'm using Emblem Hybrid Raiden. So Raiden's getting potentially pretty significant electro charges here. How much exactly? I don't know. There's too many freaking numbers in electro charge team. I can't even tell.
Time to shine.
Illusion shattered. Clouds high. The birds call.
Don't be nervous. Just relax.
I didn't swirl. Dang it. I'm trying to optimize this because I enjoy this team. It's just, the delay on having to wait for Furina to you know, do something.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Wait, oop.
Wind strike.
He might be a little bit. Don't slip it. Time to shine. Shower me with.
Inazuma shines
I swear to you, I pressed for. Is it even worth it to give Raiden EM in this team instead of straight crit and ER attack? It is when I don't want to f***ing change the build. The point of Hybrid Raiden is it's versatile. Also, most people should just use Vishal in this team. Raiden has a little bit better AoE damage potential though, with some grouping is why Raiden can potentially be better, particularly on a hybrid build in this team. But like, no, you can just do straight crit and ER if you want. But like, you keep in mind, right? What the f is Raiden doing when I am not using Raiden's burst? Because there's a lot of sequences here, right? Like, I'm not using Raiden's burst until the third wave of enemies. That means Raiden's damage is coming from her skill. And, like, yeah, the multiplier might be relatively decent with Sigewinne buff. Or not the multiplier. The total damage from, like, crit damage from it might be decent with Sigewinne's buff. But it's decent with the hybrid build too, right? Like, that's the point of the hybrid build, is it's the best of both worlds. Because I'm getting good transformative reaction damage from like the electro charges or like hyper blooms if I'm doing dendro things, and I'm getting good talent damage. So let's see what Raiden's skill is actually hitting for here. Do this, do this, do this, and swap her outfield. It's hard to tell. Like 10,000 looks like. And I think we're doing like 7k electro charge, looks like. So we're talking 10,000 plus then an electro charges, like it increases her potential to deal meaningful damage off field by having her on EM. But then I'm doing this hybrid build of having her on EM and crit, thanks to Sapphire Scarlet Sands, giving a bunch of attack to make her attack stat competent, so she can have the best of both worlds. She can have some off-field meaningful transfer reaction contribution, which meaningfully improves the team DPS and diversifies the sources of DPS. So it means you don't have to do things like burst every single rotation to get through every single new wave of enemies, right? Switch.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Don't be nervous. Just relax.
Really, bro? I don't think I swirled there again. Yeah, I assume 4.8 live stream will be next week.
Illusion shattered. Wind strike.
As one with wind and cloud.
I'm getting disoriented here.
I swear it's for medical research.
There we go.
Don't slip and fall. But mining, echoing song.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. Wind strike.
I want to do this and then do this.
Now you shall perish.
Can I? Stupid getting stuck on a dead body.
Strike a pop. Where do you think you're going?
Let's see.
The eternal ways long round.
There we go. There we go. That's kind of the clear I was looking for. 55 second. I mean, I still think I can get it less. I would not have the patience to restart that off. I'm not restarting to clear, though. I'm restarting because I'm enjoying optimizing the team and playing around with it.
Thunder is loud.
Thunder is loud. Alright. Let's test...
Or vice versa.
Actually, real quick, let's go test that same team, but with Fischl instead of Raiden. In a single target situation, right? Compared to what it was before. Because... the Fischl team potentially could gain even more, I think, from C1, because Fischl can gain more value from the Sigewinne buff, right? Than Raiden does.
Behold.
She does more,
Princess and
obviously,
Devota.
more talent-based damage and has a lot more damage bonus, notably, as well. And then Kazuha.
Want me to come along?
Yes, I do, Kazuha. Oh, frick. You don't have energy. Okay, well. Bear with me here as I get some energy.
Time to go. Wind strike.
Oh, my alarm's going off. I'm not done testing yet. Here we go. No, we're gonna warp away so they don't auto attack. Stop alarm. Alright, snooze the alarm. I have not even tested non-DPS Sigewinne. Stop! No, don't. Okay, whatever, it's fine. No, it's not fine, because I don't want you down here. You're such a butthole when you're not on the platform. You think a Nahida, Klee, Sigewinne, GG? Does Chi-Chi... No, yeah, I don't know. Like it should work, right? Like it should work. I don't know why Chi-Chi is there though, right? I mean, what are you doing with Chi-Chi? Is your goal to like melt on Chi-Chi or something? Or for her to apply cryo for melting on Klee, because it probably won't work. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe it will work well enough. I haven't used Chi-Chi enough to get a good vibe off the top of my head. But anywho's, baby team, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Chi-Chi is like potentially dead weight there, but it might work regardless of that. Just because of the strength of Klee, Sigewinne, Alhaitham together, right? So, you know. Anywho's, let's do this properly.
The tea can wait.
Official getting 20k in electro charge is absolutely disgusting.
As you wish, mate for life.
This is so much damage. Okay, yeah. The C1 was noticeable here. Oh. Doesn't make me more tanky though. How can you be less of a butt? He's gonna die. I'm gonna die. Nope. Official is a 6-star, disguised as a 4-star, correct. So, yes. In any single target situation, Official should be notably better in this team compared to Raiden. But in that particular Abyss Chamber where I was testing Raiden before, my hybrid Raiden is better than Official, because Official's doing pretty single target damage, is really the primary reason. Although honestly, now that I guess we should check Official and the Abyss in that chamber too, because of the potential strength increase from C1 Sigewinne being better for Official than it is for Raiden, it might actually make Official even better. And I also like doing something with the downtime, right? With Raiden too, it feels like there's more compelling reason to do things. But anyways,
One with wind and cloud.
yeah, see, no, that wasn't really that different.
Wings of darkness.
Wind strike.
He might feel a little
I didn't swirl Hydro.
strike a
Okay.
Let the world collide.
Official might make it more annoying to swirl Hydro.
Let's see. Odds for
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Because she's just too strong.
Where is for medical research?
Die, please. Okay. Yeah, this team rotates more awkwardly than with Raiden, but it's still probably better for most people, because again, I was like doing hybrid Raiden things. Whoop.
He might feel a little pinch.
Goodbye.
Obviously, it's not bad though. That did feel notably better than when I had C0. How long was that? That was about a minute, right? Yeah, it was about a minute. Without trying to optimize it down. Other team cons have you tried so far? I don't know. A bunch. So yeah, I don't know. That feels pretty good. The question is, you've been playing since 1, but I haven't been able to clear Abyss because of bad luck and artifacts. Can I submit for account advice? I mean, anyone can submit. The form is not locked to anyone. I can't promise I'm going to specifically contact you. I have literally thousands of submissions. So it's mostly like, okay, I browse through the submissions, and I see if anyone says something interesting about their account, and I'm like, that could be interesting enough to make a video on, and like people could gain value. It could be entertaining to watch, and people could learn something from it based on the information you provide to me in the forum. And then I will reach out to people and be like, hey, blah 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 blah. And then I do a quick perusal of the account, make sure it matches kind of like what they described it as, and then I record and edit a video, right? Like, but there's a lot of submissions. I'm planning to do like a live stream format in the future where I try to get through more of the counts. But even if I do like a live stream every other week, doing like 5 accounts, like doing speedrun account fixing, which is not going to be things like clearing Abyss. It's going to be me going into an account. It's going to be account reviews, but with the focus of looking at what the state of an account is and be like, okay, my baseline things based on what your account is looking like currently is like do this to potentially try to make some improvements based on what your goal is. And depending on like what kind of player they are, that their goal might not be Abyss. It might just be like get competent overworld teams, right? That's what the speedrun account fixing will be. It won't actually be me doing anything. It'll be me like looking through things really quickly and giving recommendations. So anyways, as far as like general account advice though, feel free to join in the Discord server. I think you mentioned you joined it. There's a build help section in there. I or others do look at that regularly. Get C4, then you can burst longer. Yeah, that's what I needed. I mean, that would make Sigewinne feel better in this team. Like this is the Raiden team has a really nice flow to it again, because like the value, like Sigewinne being, you know, hey, it's a newbie-led charge attack, but 1/3 newbie-led damage for 1/3 the field time means, hey, I can Raiden burst, right? Like that's why I find that fun. Versus like newbie-led, you don't Raiden burst in a newbie-led team, obviously. So, anyways, as he deserves. Well, let's resolve this situation. This is wrong. Bam, fixed. Perfect. Unironically, I think I will do newbie-led. I occasionally use newbie-led still. But even this Abyss, I've been very stubborn not using newbie-led at all. But you know, now that I have Furina newbie, I like the Furina Sigewinne combo to be, you know, newbie-led light, but newbie-led light, but lets me do other things with other characters on field more versus just lasering constantly. Like I don't know, it's so much more interesting to me to do that. So I don't know. This character is a better designed newbie-led. Just saying. I'm not joking. That's kind of my current feeling on her.
Don't slip and fall.
Don't slip and fall. All right. Before we end, I want to at least test. So yeah, unsurprisingly, notably, right. What this told me though is, you know, when you're having 2 off-field skill-based damage dealers, there is a pretty noticeable increase from C1. Is the main thing I noticed there. Real quick though, let's test the non-Furina team. And I'm not going to bother changing the build. I could try to get a little bit more of the skill damage buff going, but it's fine. I need to finish this stream, and then maybe we can test something with Kiara really, really quick. My most regretted character. Right now it's kind of him, to be honest. Like, it was not worth... I thought I could have fun with him. Like, I thought it was worth risking going for him to get Sethos C6. I did not get any I did not get a single additional Sethos constellation in like 50 pulls. Got Alhaitham. Thought he would be fun, and he's ended up being very unflexible and not very fun. So like, but that's a recency bias as far as regret goes. As far as like characters I haven't actually used that much for like value of pulls, yeah, I mean I've like had fun with, so I don't regret her. I didn't go into the Chronicle banner expecting I'd get a ton of value over her over time, so I don't really regret her. It's really honestly only like constellations or instances of like money that I've spent that I notably regret. I would say like doing the Elan thing when my YouTube channel first started was really, really dumb, and I wish I hadn't done it. I regretted it in the moment. I literally ranted to my friends before, and I was like, I really wish I hadn't said I would do this, but I'm gonna do it because whatever. And I do regret it, and it, yeah, there's a reason Elan is forever powered down with attack percent and timepiece and defense circlet. But that's again a constellation thing. So as far as a character that I regret like putting a lot of resources into, maybe Raiden was for the longest time until I did Hybrid Raiden, right? But anyways, let's do things. Not Furina, we're doing Yai. We'll do Yai official, Nahida, right? We'll see what this is like now. And again, this team is like pretty single target focused, not ideal for this chamber, but we'll still be able to get the vibe compared to what it was before.
Show them. Right now. Everyone hold hands. What's new? Share my knowledge.
No.
Nothing lasts forever. Emerge. Shadow Raven. Grow. Don't be nervous. Just relax. Calm down. Right here. Emerge. Right here. Hey. The temple
I don't think
of
I'd
wisdom.
reset official. Whoops. I just had no official going on for a while there.
Right here. I'm always watching. Right
And the
now.
dynamic here is whatever, like, you know, unit is on field. Notably, like, Yai would be the one I switch to. It means, like, Yai is not getting skill damage buff, but that's fine because then it's more skill damage buff for the other units, right? Oh, what? Really? I thought you were dead.
Your coming was
Midnight
foretold.
Fantastic.
Your wings
I see
raise
everything.
a star.
Make yourselves at home.
Oasis.
Right here. Right now. Emerge. That wasn't very...
Stop.
What a new...
Where do you think you're going?
A sight to behold. Right here. Right now. This place hurt a little. Odds reveal.
The eternal oasis.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's nothing crazy. But, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I thought. Wherein it would be better. In general. For non-Furina variations, but yeah. It doesn't really change anything that crazily, other than just makes her a bit more relevant of a choice, right? Like this is the difference maker, probably, between her being always a compelling choice over Kokomi whenever Furina is in the equation, versus there might have been some context, but honestly, I don't know. Even at C0, when it comes to like a Hydro Healer for Kokomi, or for Hydro Healer for Furina, I think I'd vastly prefer Sigewinne, even at C0. So, like, in hindsight, I think C1 really hasn't made that much of a difference. Really? Welcome to getting bad. Look, I hate the design of the characters, but I've said before how, like, part of my bias against Sigewinne was... And you're getting banned, by the way, because you're just a disrespectful twit. Not because I'm saying pedophilia is fine. I really hate the design of these characters. I do not like her design. I have not once complimented her design. And, like, it really annoys me that she doesn't just look like the other Melusines. And I don't care if there's a lower explanation for it in her story or not either. But, like, I hate this character's design. I hate all the lolly model designs. But when they're when there's mechanics that are fun, when I can make fun teams with them, I don't care. You know, Nahida is a mechanically useful enough character that I don't care what she fucking looks like. Same thing with Sigewinne. She has fun mechanics that are interesting. I'm enjoying playing her. I do not give two fucking hoots what she looks like. So being a disrespectful little asswipe and assuming, oh, just because a child exists in a video game? Like do you assume this for every single video game? Is that what you do, dude? You're probably not even watching anymore. But do you go into every video game, you see a child on the street, or you see a child character being the playable character, like, oh my god, this video game has a playable child character. Fucking pedophiles everywhere. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why do you go around reality assuming that? Like, I acknowledge the reason these characters exist in the game is to, in part, appeal to those kinds of people. I find that disgusting. It's why I hate these characters' like visual design. Because it feels like it is appealing to that. But, for their credit, they aren't sexualizing these characters overly. They very much go in the direction of just like, she's cute. And you know what? You. Children are cute. My sister has kids. Well, a kid. Another kid coming. And my cousin has kids. And they're cute. Children are cute. That's what they're leaning into, really. And I think that's fine. The people that then go online and like simp for Sigewinne or Nahida are creepy f***s, and they need to go away. Like, I banned those people on my Discord server, cause like, go away. But you're kind of being a disrespectful asswipe by calling me a pedophile and calling anyone watching a pedophile just cause child exists. Like, what's wrong with you? Direct your hate towards, like if you're someone that's that hateful, like, you just go around joining Genshin streams because you, like, if you're that hateful of an individual, I feel like you should find something else you're passionate about. Because, like, hate is a passion, right? And people hate on things because they have nothing better to do. Find something better to do with your life than hate on a video game. I'm not saying you have to like Genshin, but like find something better to do with your life that isn't just being an asshole. Bye. Anywho's. So yeah. Don't tolerate pedophilia. I don't like the designs. Doesn't mean you're a dick to people. I'm not gonna go hate on people for pulling Sigewinne or playing Nahida. But I will ban people for like making sexualized comments about her on my Discord server kind of thing. Right? Like, there's a difference. Jesus Christ. Anyway, that was a distraction and a half. Let's end the stream on something slightly positive. We are going to test Kirara in this video, because I did put her in the thumbnail. We have Kirara's signature weapon now. So, what we're going to do is... Oh, frick, I don't even remember what team I used for Kirara before. Frick. Do I have a Kirara team configured? Opening a big can of worms. I don't think what I said is a can of worms, personally. If what I said is a can of worms, then yeah, I don't know what to tell you. The only people that would be really upset with some of the stuff I said are the people that, you know, need to reconceptualize their mindset and how they think about some things, just saying. But you know what? Also, fundamentally, still, you know, if I am still much more comfortable with the idea of, you know, people sexualizing fictional characters that have children-sized bodies versus, you know, soliciting actual CSAM, right? So, because that actually hurts real children. This is a fictional character, at the very least. Like, people are not committing a crime when making a sexualized comment about this character, but they are being disgusting and are not people I want around in my community. But I also don't want people that are just disrespectful at a baseline for no good reason. Just because a child model exists. That's dumb as shit, too. I don't like disrespectful people in general. Anywho's. Was saying that Hoyo appeals to pedos. I think the model existing as it does and looking like it does appeal to them in some way. I don't think they very purposely lean into it that hard. Like, they're not sexualizing them, which is why I said good on them for not doing that. But there's also a reason they exist in, like, most gacha games, at least. Not all, but most of them. So, you know, yeah, exactly. Why is there no child model? Child male model, right? Why is it all females? And to be clear, you know, the Lolicon's a thing, Shotacon is a thing as well. So, I guess there's a user base for both. But anyways, yeah, it could be worse. It's not great, you know. I will give them credit for not overly Hoyo themselves not overly sexualizing things, but I do think they want anything. They're gonna appeal to anything that sells, right? In some level, and there are people where just these characters existing sells to them. So, you know, Surely the mayor of Shidnai is a child male model. Yeah. Do I have a Kira team? I don't, because there's not enough teams. Okay, frick. Well, whatever. We'll do... Oh, frickles. I don't remember what I did in the past. What did I do in the past for Kiara? Kiwawa. We gotta do Furina, obviously, so we're just gonna do Marshall's, right? I'm just trying to think what team I used. We'll do... For doing skill damage... I don't know. Attack or EM might be... I think EM is still better because her skill damage is not that relevant. You can keep that, and then... Hopefully I can use that. Actually, wait. Here. Let's put that one on instead. it's a little scuffed. Also ER, lol. You know. ER, huh? ER. ER is always a problem. Okay, well, shooty patooties. Do this, I guess. It's a little better. We'll try that. Okay. Okay. Kirara's signature weapon. Go with Furina. Furina, Kirara. We want Electro. Well, I mean, if we're doing skill-based, yeah, we're doing skill-based damage. We want Electro. I mean, wait, do we just use Sigewinne? Sigewinne should be on it, because, yeah, duh. No, never mind, not duh. Because it's on-field skill damage, so it's not relevant. I was going to say for the skill damage buff, so never mind. It's not really relevant to do Kirara's, Kirara Sigewinne. I think just this, honestly. Like, why not? I want to see a big number from Kirara, and you know, screw it. I'm just going to abuse my Nahida, C2. And prototype Amber on Alhaitham too, right? Screw it. Can we make Canon Kirara box form Kiwawa? I mean, Kiwawa was always Kiwawa. Alright.
Right here, right now.
Also, Furina, I think, does not have enough ER right now. That was a 33k. Nice. 53k? Dang. Not bad. Actually, the 33k might have been Nahida. That's a problem with Nahida on Dendro DPS teams. You can never tell what your friggin' Dendro damage is doing. Apparently my Furina does have enough here. Really? That was not a spread.
Right now, emerge, right here. I see everything. Share my knowledge.
Also, slight issue because I took damage. I did not have Marshall's Anders up there. So, you know, probably should do Baiju instead. Realistically.
Bound as one, like a 99!
I didn't crit. I mean, this wasn't terrible, but also, yeah, and Nahida kind of carry. Let's do one more with Baiju. Am I getting Venti when he comes back? I doubt it. He's too niche and doesn't have that much that's interesting for him. Like I'd rather honestly get Zhongli for like weird microwave shenanigans on a mechanical level. He's more interesting to me than especially with right. I could do Sigewinne, Zhongli, Furina microwave shenanigans with Geo Traveler. Right? Unironically, seems like a fun thing to do. Venti, I mean, Venti didn't get the notable thing that he is notable with which is, Kiwawa. Ooh, that's not Kiwawa. Venti is still good for, you know, like trivializing like chamber, like floor 11, like with a bunch of slimes or whatever, right? You can still trivialize situations, but the situations are relatively rare. Like Venti got power crept not by new characters, but by them making anti-Venti enemies and anti-Venti abyss situations that can't, like enemies that can't be yoinked by his burst. So, yeah. Microwave is, so Zhongli's, any geo constructs around Zhongli's skill will pulse and do Zhongli's skill damage, and that can stack, so doing multiple instances of like geo skill damage, and that means like you can get some like pretty meaningful skill-based geo damage from Zhongli. So you could do off-field Zhongli microwave with C1, Sigewinne, Furina, Zhongli on like Golden Troop or something, and then like Geo Traveler for creating extra Geo constructs, right? Unironically, it seems really fun, so I'm tempted to go for Zhongli for that purpose. I will probably almost never use him as a shielder because I hate that. I mean, I might use him for testing some things sometimes because being able to use his shield to like just test rotations is potentially nice, but yeah.
Right here. Emerge. Right here.
Mind the side effects. Seems like an emergency.
Okay, the 33k was from Kira.
Right here, please.
Nice, 70k.
Emerge. Right here. Time to shine.
A bitter pill to swallow. Taking a turn for the better.
Let the world collide.
Nice 48k. Flame. Okay, probably not gonna get our energy back. Whoops.
Remember, health comes first.
Kind of goofed here a little bit, but
Emerge. Right
Where do
now.
you think you're
alarm's going off again.
Lightning, echo, and song. Strike above.
Energy back? Nope. Sad. Okay, my bad. That was I think mostly my fault. Blam. Oh, I didn't hit the other one. Crap.
Show them.
Not bad. I make no claims that Kirara DPS is the strongest thing in the world. But, hey, you know, Furina, Baiju, Yai there, not bad at all, in my opinion. Right, like a team that can clear that Abyss Chamber in 1 minute and 20 seconds, and then a team configured to properly like shield break in the second half and still get meaningful enough DPS between the shield breaking parts is enough to clear that Abyss Chamber, right? So, it's more than competent. Yeah, I like having. Is it a noticeable upgrade for Kirara versus, you know, doing, I don't know, this? It is, because it looks better. So, yeah. Ever consider making a Yeet team with Jean, like Kirara alt Aloy balls? Yes, it actually is in my ideas list to do something with that, but it's, I need to remember to do it with an Abyss that has like a weirdly high amount of projectiles, because what you can do is you can like spawn you can use Kirara ult, spawn the green balls, you could suck them up with Jean and like hold them in front of you, and it will block projectile, like the Ruin Guard actually, the projectiles will get blocked. Can I demonstrate that? So, have you tried Burgeon Clee? I don't have Clee, so no. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I gotta go like see. Like, my friends might be waiting on me. So fun stream. I really like. No, stop trying to do ads when I'm ending. Fun stream for me at least. I don't know. Other than the disrespectful butthole that made me go on a rant about people being disrespectful and stupid things. Whatever. I like this character. I like her a lot. I think she's good. I actually think she should be a 5-star. For how her kit is designed. Like, if she was a 4-star, she would be a lot worse, basically. And, again, my comparison for that to make it understandable is, like, yeah, conceptualize that, like, yeah, she has a Nuvilet charge attack in her burst, and, yeah, that 1/3, a Nuvilet that's doing 1/3 of the damage doesn't seem that good, but it's a Nuvilet doing 1/3 the damage that is also a healer, that also has a skill buff, reduces your Furina's ER needs a lot, and is a Nuvilet that's 1/3 the damage with 1/3 the field time. It takes a lot of investment, and it's not as easy to get like a DPS build for her going compared to the likes of doing a damage build for Nuvilet. He's much easier to just go down that path. But she doesn't have to. She has flexibility as a generic support unit. I think she's a very compelling healer option in conjunction with Furina. If you don't have Furina and you hate Furina, don't want to get Furina for whatever reason, is she still valuable? I think she can be, but definitely not if you have a number of other healer options. Like, she can be either, at a bare minimum baseline, she can just be a comfort healer, right? Is basically why, but her real relevance was obviously made to be paired with Furina, and I don't know, she's given me new reason to actually build Furina for damage, and that's cool. So I don't know, I like this character's kit. Like, I don't, as far as like the ideas go, there's not that much that's interesting on an idea level other than like, hey, a skill damage buff for off-field skill damage dealers is pretty cool. Sethos is a much more mechanical... Where the frick is he? Sethos is a much more mechanically interesting character as far as like the characters from version 4.7 goes. But I do think Sigewinne is a better character than Sethos, right? With the current state of the game and how relevant Furina is. Like, I don't know. The Furina Sigewinne core is pretty strong, is all I can say. So, yeah. It's the first time I feel like I actually want to do double hydro things with Furina. Yeah, well, not the first time, sorry. The only other time I've really done double hydro things with Furina is in like Noelle. Doing double hydro Noelle, and then whatever else is enjoyable, but wasn't my favorite. This is a team core I like more because it offers much more flexibility for doing different things. The Noelle thing was just more like, it was just obvious synergy to throw in Elan in the team kind of thing. And that's all it really was. But it like wasn't even interesting enough to me, or something I used enough to be compelling to like switch Furina off of a high ER build, right? Whereas this makes me want to actually spec Furina into damage, and that's cool. So, yep. Any decent plunge teams you can use with Cloud Retainer apart from Xiao and Hu Tao? I mean, there's Gaming, there is D-Loop, there's any Claymore character, honestly, can be turned into pretty competent plunge DPSs. I like doing plunge Cloud Retainer herself a lot. If you don't have Furina, Cloud Retainer's value is a lot lower, right? I mean, both, as far as 5-star healers go, both Sigewinne and Furina were very designed around, sorry, both Sigewinne and Cloud Retainer were both designed around Furina, very significantly. So, you know. But yeah, Chongyun plunge. I don't know. I really like doing Candace plunge. I like doing Dia plunge with Candace. I actually like Dia Candace plunge with Hydro Dia doing forward vapes more than I actually enjoyed doing Pyro vapes with like C6 Bennett. But anywho's. Interesting filter maps. What do you mean? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, whatever. Anywho's, should stream tomorrow for Imaginarium Theater. Assuming, well, tomorrow or Tuesday. Tuesday would be if I find out like it has a hour-long quest or something to get into it, and they don't just let us like go kind of straight into it, right? Which might be the case. I don't know. Stream tomorrow or Tuesday for Imaginarium Theater. So look forward to that, including on Polearms only, of course, right? Because that'll be interesting. I have no idea if it'll be doable. Am I gonna bring Kiwawa, sorry, in the theater? Is Dendro allowed? I thought it was Pyro, Electro, Anemo. So I think it's literally not allowed for me to bring Kirara. Because if I recall, it's Pyro, Electro, Anemo. So sadly, no. But yeah, anywho's, bye-bye.